let's go ahead to the media block here. Tucker Carlson, interesting release from Axios. Let's go ahead and put this up there on the screen. They say, quote, "Scoop, Tucker Carlson is ready to torch Fox News." That includes the very first quote from Tucker Carlson's lawyer. He says the idea that anyone is going to silence Tucker and prevent him from speaking to his audience is beyond preposterous. Much of this comes to effectively a contract dispute now at this point, where Carlson's contract runs, according to insiders, up until 2025. The issue is that they are still paying his contract. It's called, like, what is it, pay for not play or what?
Something like that, yes.
Pay to not play, I guess. Where, because they are still fulfilling the legal terms of his contract by paying him his salary and not having him on the air, he's kind of in some sort of programmatic lockup. Now, what happens in January 2025? Oh, right, it's after the 2024 election. So there is a lot of speculation that Fox is actually dragging out any legal negotiation with Tucker and his team because they believe that if they might benefit from silencing him, from keeping any future voice of his or project of his to go up so that they have time to rebuild the millions of people that they have lost in his time slot. Remember this, they have the worst ratings since pre-9/11 in Fox primetime right now. It's a horrific nightmare, just content place that is happening over there. Some of this also was leaked to the New York Times. Clearly there's a lot of back and forth going on behind the scenes between Tucker and his team. Put it up there on the screen. It says Tucker Carlson wants to return to Fox TV before 2025. Will Fox let him? Basically, the speculation is this. Either Fox will just drag it out and say, no, we're not going to negotiate with you all. We have you completely within the terms of the contract. Or we may just not pay you. You might have to forfeit all of the salary, not have some sort of exit package the way that Megyn Kelly had. There's been a lot of crazy disclosures happening from behind the scenes of these videos. We've covered some of them. I know you guys have as well as text messages. I mean, Fox claims they're not leaking it, but it's so, I mean,
it's not
come on. He's going to leak his, first
maybe Dominion leaking it just
he wouldn't, how would they have access to the
video? They don't have the, they don't have, and they also don't have the redacted text.
The banned video, it only exists in one place, people. Fox servers. It doesn't take a genius to figure this out.
I love that it's a Media Matter.
Right, of course they gave it to Media Matter. It's genius. I mean, in many ways that they're allies because they're like, oh, well, we would never do it. And then they sent some sort of like cease and desist letter to cover up their tracks. It's just laughable. It's obviously you. We all know what you're doing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they think it's working. If anything, the right is only coalescing even more around Tucker, and they don't think that Fox is legit.
They don't understand their audience if they think that that's going to hurt Tucker.
Exactly.
With that audience.
Yeah, it's just so foolish to even think about. But I think it comes back to the fact is, legally, it is a bind, because they do have it within the terms of the contract. And they basically have to acquiesce to letting him go and to do his own thing. We have seen people who are on his side, people like Megyn Kelly, actually come out and go after Fox and has actually been telling Tucker to take them to court. She says Tucker should walk away and forfeit the pay. Let Fox take him to court over the sole issue of silencing him for the rest of the election season. The man they fired and smeared relentlessly while he stayed silent. See how their dwindling audience repays them for that. So that would, of course, be like trial of the century, right? If Fox takes Tucker to court explicitly to keep him within the terms of the contract. But at the very least, big time media battle gearing up here. Also, can I just say this? Non-competes are BS and they should be illegal.
Yeah,
Crystal and I had a real problem. Yeah, I'm 100% behind it. Crystal and I can't talk too much about it. Had a real issue with non-competes. Had a breaking points and all that caused us a hell of a lot of stress. And it's not even just about us. We're fine. There are a lot of people out there, we've spoken previously about like grocery store chains. We're like, yeah, if you bag for us, you can't go bag for somebody. It's like, screw you on a legal principle.
Jimmy John's had it.
Jimmy John's, that's exactly right. That's what I was thinking of. It's screw you. You do not dictate where I work elsewhere.
Right.
You pay me to perform a service, and that's it. Everything else beyond that is a matter of my individual liberty. So it really bothers me.
The amazing
this
worker
situation
was like,
exists.
I will take this job, but you cannot hire another worker.
Exactly.
Leave.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
They'd be like, that's
what?
insane.
Yeah.
That's not how this works. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then I'm not signing on.
So
either.
we're not talking about the welfare of $25 million salary cable news pundits, okay? We are talking specifically about why legally this is an idiotic framework to conduct yourself.
Is there a deal to be made where Tucker agrees to not disparage Fox and they let him out? Like, how do you see this ending?
I don't know if he would do it. I mean, here's the thing: they have so unceremoniously fired him and treated him. I mean, they didn't even give a chance, right, for anything amicable. 2 days after he's gone, they're leaking his text messages and leaking videos of him behind the scenes to me. Like, they're kind of the ones who shot first. Well, I mean, first they fired him, and then second, immediately, their chief PR is a woman named Irina Briganti, who used to be very powerful in the tabloid days, but in the age of the internet now looks like a clown. Yes, that's what I said, Irina. What it is that she thinks she's like this behind the scenes mastermind who determines Fox. It's very like Roger Ailes in terms of we wield power. But what they don't understand is you're not the only place to go anymore. Nobody cares at this point whether they get to go on cable television or not. I know a lot of young people who are coming up in the media industry. Not one of them still cares about going on cable. Whenever we were coming up, Ryan, it was the only way.
Right. Yes.
It was the only opportunity that we
right.
had. But the moment the internet happened, I jumped ship. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of my so did you. So did a lot of people. Like,
yeah, and I remember getting a couple angry calls back in the day from Irina Briganti. She's a real screamer now.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird.
Yes.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Sagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us. And if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.
Today, we're breaking down what's really going on with this messy Selena Gomez scandal, talking how big or small it is that Trump just lost an abuse and defamation case, really concerning news coming out of Pakistan. We're talking all of that and so much more on today's brand new Philip DeFranco show, so buckle up, hit that like button, and let's just jump into it, you beautiful bastard. Starting with, please brace yourself for, without a doubt, the weirdest phone call to be leaked in 2023 so far.
Hey brother, how you doing?
Hey Alex, it's Tucker. Do you have a minute to talk?
Absolutely.
I was thinking we could do a show together where we're topless and we suck each other's nipples and sort of play with them a bit. It would be a comment on gender
That's a really
roles,
great idea.
sort of a funny parody thing.
So Alex Jones there is real, that's actually him, but Tucker's voice is not. Instead, that was an AI voice clone created by Canadian prankster Rich James, also known by the streamer name Frank Stallone. He apparently somehow got the phone numbers for both Jones and Carlson, faked being Carlson to call Jones, with Alex initially buying into it, but eventually realizing the trick and then hanging up, which is where it might have ended had not Jones then devoted a whole 30 minutes of his show to talk about the incident and even threatened James with litigation.
Hey, let me tell the little prankster, Prank Stallone, something. Tucker Carlson's lawyers are involved in what you did, we believe is a crime. So I think even though you think you're safe up in Canada, you're gonna get arrested for what you did yesterday. So keep laughing, you little arrogant person.
And after that, he goes on to rant about the dangers of misinformation, he's the best guy for that, right? In order to pay over $1 billion to the families of Sandy Hook victims. But that said, while he is someone who peddles it for a living, yeah, the dangers of AI misinformation and deepfakes is a real thing. We've talked about this on the show for a while. Which, if anything, the bad news is that this is like the least horrible use of AI voice cloning or deepfakes or misinformation that we've seen recently. And it's really only going to get worse. And then Americans are on edge right now. One of the ways we're seeing that play out are all these innocent folks just getting shot up for the dumbest reasons by paranoid maniacs. It feels like the things that used to shock us have now made us numb and have become normal. We've now got yet another story in this category, this time with a guy who shot a little girl in the back of the head for playing hide and seek on his property. Reportedly, 58-year-old David Doyle says he took out his gun when he saw, quote, shadows outside his home in a rural Louisiana of town. So we went out there, saw people running away from his house, and he just let the bullets fly, with him hitting the 14-year-old, though luckily her injuries were reportedly non-life-threatening. But of course, he's now been arrested and charged with several counts of aggravated this and that. But the American crazy train also doesn't end with him, because we're also hearing about 22-year-old Seth Point, who's waiting at a stoplight in his blue Mustang when he just fucking snaps. He rear-ends the SUV in front of him, then lurching back and slamming into the pickup truck behind him. And as the woman in the SUV gets out, he apparently tries to drive away, but crashes into a box truck in another lane instead. But it's not over yet, because he backs up, going over the median and smashing into a Porsche, driving in the opposite direction, with him then coming full circle with all the grace and elegance, once again plowing into the first SUV, forcing it forward several feet. So now Seth has been charged with felony assault with a deadly weapon. And this guy just seemingly filled with so much rage, and it also doesn't feel like he's alone. Even if it's anecdotal, it just seems like there's an extra amount of people out there right now responding to the tiniest defense with the nuclear option. And with all this chaos happening, I feel like I have a new best trait. Like, I used to feel bad that I was this non-confrontational introvert, but apparently that's a fucking superpower in America these days. Where I grew up seeing any interaction with another human being is like exhausting work. Turns out my subconscious self-defense system S tier. So yeah, I guess the moral of this story is be careful out there, America, but also don't be careful in the overly aggressive, crazy way that we've seen other people be careful. And then, are you a stan? Or are you just a lame-ass bully? That's the question at the center of this news around Selena Gomez fans. Because apparently they're no longer focused on bullying Hailey Bieber and instead are focusing on Francia Raisa. Right, and Francia, if you don't know, she's an actress. She's on How I Met Your Father, but a lot of people, especially Selena's fans, know her as the friend who donated her kidney to Selena amid her lupus diagnosis in 2017. Right, an absolutely monumental thing to do for anyone, and Francia at the time called it a life-changing experience. But in the years since that happened, there have been headlines and rumors about drama between the two, people wondering if they're throwing shade at one another, if they're even friends anymore. Do they hate each other? It's stuff like that. And so recently TMZ was like, let's get the answer and/or just instigate something. And so they saw and/or track down Francia on the street and they started asking her questions about this. But she was plainly refusing to answer questions about Selena.
How's everything going with you and Selena? I know you unfollowed her. You still don't follow her. Are things good with you guys?
Something so fun.
Do you guys talk at all? Are you willing to follow her back? Will you follow her back eventually?
What kind of treaty is this? Is this treating probably avocado? No.
She's just dodging questions left and right, and Selena's fans seemingly didn't respond well to this. And if you head to her Instagram, it's not hard to find people saying negative, nasty, horrible things to her. Which brings us to yesterday when TMZ posted a clip of her talking to that same paparazzo, where they're telling him that their previous conversation caused a big mess for her.
I didn't mean to do all that, but you know, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure no one means to do anything, but you know,
Okay.
What's new?
He then asked what kind of comments she's been receiving, to which she said,
I think the one that probably hurt the most was I hope someone goes up your and rips out your other kidney.
with her adding that given everything, she doesn't feel like talking to TMZ, but the only thing she wanted to add was that bullying is never okay.
In no way, shape, or form does anyone condone bullying.
Yeah.
Especially Selena.
Yeah.
She literally has a whole nonprofit dedicated to mental health.
Okay.
She's literally out there saying, please stop. So I don't understand why it's not stopping, not just for me,
Yeah.
but for others that are also being antagonized online.
And that last bit likely referencing the Hailey Bieber drama from earlier this year, with tons of people attacking Hailey in the defense of Selena. But it got so out of hand that Hailey got death threats and Selena had to tell her fans to knock it off. Which, yes, this is a story about Selena Gomez's fans, but it's also a conversation about stan culture in general. Because there's really been no shortage of examples of how quickly people move to bully and harass others online, and how people are using fandoms as a weapon. Or you've seen Taylor Swift stans going after the men they think her songs are about. In the same vein, you had Olivia Rodrigo fans going after her ex, Harry Styles fans going after Olivia Wilde. And often these things just take on a life of their own. Or even when you have people like Selena saying stop it, you end up seeing examples of stans breaking down the way she said it, and did she actually mean it? Was she actually calling it for this, or was it actually another jab? And understand, I'm not saying that if you're a fan of any of the people mentioned, or there's so many people we didn't even mention in this story, I'm not saying like you're a bad person. I understand why so many people don't speak out against this, because it's horrifying to see a massive mob go after you. That's why with this whole situation, I gotta pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts on this? Right, and I ask this whether you're part of or outside of general stan culture. And then, okay, picture this. You're on a business trip, it's late, you're tired, you peel off your socks, you flop into bed at a cozy Hilton hotel, you fall into a deep sleep, and then you have a weird dream. All of a sudden you feel wet, there's like wet sounds, your feet kind of tickle. And when you wake up, you realize, oh, I'm not in a dream, I'm in a nightmare. Because you find a man at the end of your bed actually licking your toes. What do you do in this situation? Well, for Air Force veteran Peter Brennan, who this was not a hypothetical question for, his answer was to scream. With this all going down at 5 a.m. at the Hilton Downtown Hotel in Nashville. And this wasn't some random passerby that found his way into the room. He sees a man in a uniform with a name tag, and so he yells, "Who are you? Why are you in my room? What are you doing here?" It's like the man actually did talk to him, but he didn't give any substantive answers. The intruder then fleeing, with Brennan going to hotel security but saying that they didn't take him seriously. So instead, he calls the cops, and after investigating, they find the suspect was actually David Neal, the hotel's night manager, with Brennan believing that this creep made a clone of his key card to get into his room, and so now he's suing him and the hotel. So one, I'm sorry if I just unlocked a new fear, or possibly kink for some of you, which remember, it's only a kink if it's consensual, otherwise a crime. And two, apparently use every latch thing, whatever you can put on a door, and then maybe even barricade, because apparently at some point in the last decade, all the weirdos were like, now's my time, I'm gonna go for it. And then, I want to thank Seed for sponsoring this video during Digestive Health Month. Do you know that your inputs such as food and probiotics have direct correlation to your outputs? That's why it's so important to eat foods that nourish your gut microbiome while also taking a scientifically validated symbiotic. And after a year of taking Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic, I can tell you it's the real deal. Probiotics are a science. It's important that they're developed, manufactured, and vetted with scientific rigor and precision. And thanks to their ViaCap delivery technology, a unique capsule-in-capsule design, Seed's DS-01 requires no refrigeration, and the probiotic strains actually make it to your colon with 100% survivability. Seed's DS-01 also provides benefits beyond the gut, like healthy regularity, eased bloating, heart health, skin health, and more. And during Digestive Health Month, Seed's offering a whopping 40% off your first month. You'll receive this 30-day supply, or refillable glass jar, and travel bot. And after that, they send sustainably packaged refills. So make the change this spring. Go to seed.com/DeFranco and use code DeFranco at checkout to get 40% off your first order of Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic and free shipping. And then, Trump was just found liable in a civil rape trial, with a jury awarding E. Jean Carroll with $5 million in damages. Now notably, this verdict, which came after just 3 hours of deliberation, is civil, not criminal, meaning that even though the accusation at hand is about a rape, Donald Trump here has not been convicted and doesn't face any jail time for this. And as the New York Times explained, Carroll alleged Donald Trump sexually assaulted her in the dressing room of a luxury department store, with Carroll suing Trump for battery and defamation, with the defamation claim stemming from a 2022 post on Truth Social in which Trump called Miss Carroll's case a complete con job and a hoax and a lie. And with the story breaking just before I upload today, obviously we're gonna have to keep our eyes on this, both for this specific situation, but also to see what else comes from this, because of course, at least 26 women have accused Donald Trump of sexual misconduct or assault, especially as even part of this Carroll suit's only been made possible recently. Right, as Axios noted, Carroll was only allowed to sue Trump for battery as of last November, because that's when New York's Adult Survivors Act went into effect, which allows adult survivors of sexual violence to sue over attacks that occurred decades ago. And then, new battle over food delivery is currently underway. Right, in places like New York City, tens of thousands of food orders are made every day, despite the fact that officials are actively working against the delivery worker. But the city of New York reportedly placed more than 30 million delivery orders in the last 3 months of 2021 alone. And the Upper West Side specifically placed 1.2 million orders in that time, which comes to around 14,000 orders per day. But despite, or maybe even because these millions of orders, members of the Upper West Side Neighborhood Civic Panel Community Board 7, they've been actively working against delivery workers. I mean, they're messing with every opportunity created to help them, including vehemently opposing a non-binding resolution which would encourage restaurants to allow delivery drivers to access their restrooms, with a resolution suggesting that if the restaurant refused, it should be noted when the business asked for the support of the community board in applying for a street cafe or liquor license. But that's just one example. Community Board 7 also voted against the transformation of a vacant newsstand into a rest and charging station for delivery workers, as well as delaying a plan for protected crosstown bike lanes. And as these numbers surfaced, we saw more conversation coming out about the struggles of being a delivery worker in the city, with the executive director of Workers' Justice Project saying, "These numbers confirm what we already know. Delivery workers brave rain, snow, and sleet to fulfill millions of deliveries and keep New Yorkers fed," which is also a way of activists advocating not only for places to rest and recharge and protected biking infrastructure, but also for fair compensation, which when you look at the numbers, it makes sense. According to the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, delivery workers' base pay was just over $7 an hour in the last quarter of 2021. With that, a number of solutions have been offered. I mean, one of the big swings, there's a proposed rule for a $23.82 minimum wage for food delivery workers introduced last November. Recently, back in March, that got revised, dropping the number to $19.96 an hour by 2025, which, hey, I'll say I have no idea what the proper pay rate should be for this job. But this whole situation, I think, does highlight an issue we see kind of pop up over and over in different places. People or groups of people who use a service making life harder for the people that actually provide that service. And then hell may have frozen over because some Texas lawmakers are at least considering some changes to their gun laws, and it's not like every baby gets a free AR-15 style weapon. Instead, in the House, 2 Republicans on the 13-member House Select Committee have broken with their party and voted with their Democratic colleagues to push a bill that would raise the age of buying AR-15 style weapons from 18 to 21. And this was a really unexpected surprise for Democrats in the Republican-dominated House, as the committee wasn't even scheduled to meet yesterday. Though, to be clear, this does not mean it'll be smooth sailing from here. The bill still has to actually pass the House before its legislative session ends this Thursday, although the Dems think they have some procedures to extend that to the 29th. But even after that, it would have to then get to the Senate and then survive any vetoes from Abbott. And even then, while it is some sort of gun reform, it's not what many gun control activists really want. It doesn't change the type of firearms that are available, their calibers, the size of their magazines, or a plethora of other features they've sought to ban. But considering this is Texas we're talking about, and literally any type of potential restriction on a firearm, still unexpected. And then I've got an absolutely insane update today to one of the weirdest stories we've covered. About 2 weeks ago, I talked about that crazy Kenyan death cult that encouraged its followers to starve to death. Although, on that note, autopsies are revealing that they didn't just let followers starve, instead some were just strangled to death. And it also increasingly is looking like killing them wasn't just for some twisted religious reason, with those same autopsies also showing that many victims are missing organs, leading police to believe that the cult was actually engaged in forced organ harvesting. To take it all together, police claim that this cult was a highly organized crime syndicate and that there were likely more graves out there which could bring the death toll to well above 133. And then, is this a political witch hunt or just consequences for action? So we're talking about Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan being arrested today, and all across the country his supporters have brought things to a standstill, with Khan's arrest coming as part of an investigation into the role he and his wife allegedly played in the Al-Qadir University Trust, which the quick version is that Khan and his wife allegedly made a quid pro quo deal with a real estate tycoon for land in order to build an educational institute for the trust, and in the end that supposedly cost the country $239 million. Though Khan has denied any wrongdoing, and everything about this case has been very controversial. For starters, his supporters claim that these charges are just politically motivated, as Khan was only ousted from power last year in a parliamentary no-confidence vote that he claimed was a plot by opposition parties, the military, and even the US, although he later withdrew his accusations against America. And on top of that, there's a question about the legality of the arrest itself. Under recent rules changes, those accused by the country's anti-corruption authorities can only be arrested if they've ignored multiple warnings from the agency and intentionally avoid getting arrested. Now, government officials, they claim that Khan had been given multiple notices and then an arrest warrant was issued on May 1st, and saying because he allegedly refused to cooperate, they had to send the police to forcibly arrest him. However, Khan's supporters and his party are adamant that there were no warnings ever sent and that an arrest warrant was never actually issued, which of course would make this arrest illegal, some even claiming that this man was just kidnapped. So it's not surprising to see that throughout every major city there, his supporters have poured onto the streets. And while things have been relatively peaceful in most cities, in others, protesters have ransacked military officials' houses, and there are increasing reports that police and protesters are clashing. But also, the much bigger general reality is that the entire situation is incredibly tense and things could easily escalate, especially when you consider that this is just the start of the problems for Khan, right? Since losing power last year, the Al-Qadir case is just one of over 100 cases being brought against Khan, with him also being accused of pretty much everything: corruption charges, terrorism, even blasphemy. But for now, we're gonna have to wait to see what happens here, both for Khan, but also for Pakistan itself. Right? We're talking about a situation that could be stabilized for a number of reasons. And that's actually where today's show ends. But friendly reminder, you're getting 2 for the price of 1, which is also free, because in addition to your daily Philip DeFranco show, I've been giving you morning news videos. So just click or tap to get to that, or I'll include a link in the description down below. But as always, I gotta say, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow. You are very welcome. I just wanted to get that out of the way because this week I'm doing something a little bit different. In addition to your regular Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday Philip DeFranco show that comes out around 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, you'll also be getting one of these, a morning news video into a very interesting news story, so I can help all you beautiful bastards get started with your day and then come back a few hours later and watch the full show. And so with that, I gotta say, this morning we gotta talk about what has Matt Gaetz and Ilhan Omar on the same side, because that is an incredibly rare thing. But at the end of last month, those two lawmakers found a small piece of common ground, and it was found in Africa. So Gaetz forced a vote in the House on a resolution to direct President Biden to remove all U.S. troops from Somalia within a year, except for a handful who would guard the embassy. With them calling U.S. involvement there a costly and mostly fruitless endeavor that has no end in sight. Now, if you're hearing this and you're thinking, wait, the military that my tax dollars are funding is where? You're not alone, because unbeknownst to many Americans, the U.S. has been meddling in Somalia in one way or another for decades, with troops stationed there since around 2007. And there, they've been propping up a flimsy local government while fighting the Islamic militant group Al-Shabaab, as well as other smaller groups. But right before he very reluctantly left office, Trump ordered nearly all troops, about 700 at the time, out of the country.
What do you think? Long down here or wait? I'm going with wait. I'm going with waiting on the long. Jeez Louise. We just gonna have a boring rest of the week or some crab action? It's just like, just wanna make my right moves.
Don't get confused, right? This wasn't some kind of progressive anti-war move, where most of the soldiers were just simply redeployed to Kenya or Djibouti, where they continued their work in Somalia just from across the border. Plus, even before that, Trump loosened
So Brad had this suit, tailored suit. And I don't know if Brad knows this story, and I don't know if he listens to your podcast, and I might get in trouble for this.
He does not listen to my podcast. We might listen to this.
He might listen to this because of Tom. So Brad, if you're listening here, you might be hearing this for the first time.
I love.
Speaking of rock hard, I mean, this is a huge topic on YMH. You want to go into the Twitter thing?
Sure.
So, we've been trying to get Tom to come in space. We have been tweeting NASA, Elon Musk, and SpaceX.
Oh, so good.
Do you want to read this and
Sure.
let them know what's going on? And all we want to know is, how do astronauts come in space? And more importantly, can we get Tom to come in space?
Yeah. I mean, here's an article. Thank God there's an article out there.
Well,
It's like looks like everybody, all of a sudden we talk about it, it's in the news. Here's an email that came in. Hello, friend. After tweeting to NASA, SpaceX, and Elon Musk, we want Tom to come in space. I have been banned for 7 days and forced to remove my tweet. That is all. Be well, Jason. Thanks, Jason.
wow. I mean, if this isn't a conspiracy
Thank
to
you.
suppress information,
It's suppressing information.
Elon.
Yeah, it is. It's very much.
So, was that? What was that? A bear? That sounded. Was that Hirsute Pursuit? Why are you laughing so hard? I don't understand.
Because there's a guy that's coming slowed down. It's on the tear. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's horrible.
That's me in space. That's what I'll sound like. The gravity will be different.
Yeah.
The sounds will be different.
Yeah, because sound is different in space. That's horrible. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible. Look, here's the thing I feel like, because from what I've seen of Elon, I know you have a great sense of humor. I think that no one at Twitter has actually shown him the footage of us discussing this. And I don't think he's aware. I want to blame his staff and his employees for suppressing this
Elon,
information.
Where's your newest meme about this?
So anyway, this article we found, how astronauts masturbate in space. Okay, officially it says nobody has ever had sex in space, but what about solo sex? It's not something NASA has ever been particularly keen to talk about.
Yeah, what the fuck, NASA?
But here's the fact. Okay, Russian cosmonaut Valery Polyakov spent 437 days on board the Mir space station. Polyakov once noted in his diary, psychological support service sent us some nice, quote, colorful movies which helped to recover our will to act like a normal adult male. There was nothing to be ashamed of. And then another...
I bet you they didn't send, like, his special kinks. I bet it was just generic, you know, boy-girl scenes, and he's like, no pissing.
That's so true, Tom.
Like, I want to see the girl get pissed in her mouth. And they're like, I'm sorry.
Well, and of course it's Russian porn, and so it's got to be very heteronormative.
And the girl is like sad.
Yeah.
No expression on her face.
Yeah, they only tolerate heterosexual, normal, clean activity. Yeah. Russian cosmonaut Alexander Levakin described how things went on his 174-day trip to space. He says, quote, everyone is doing it. Everybody understands. It's nothing. My friends ask me, how are you making sex in space? I say, by hand. In his memoir, astronaut Mike Mullane, so astronaut, that's an American, right, writes that at one point he had, quote, an erection so intense it was painful. Adding that he, quote, could have drilled through kryptonite. Yeah. So this is very interesting, guys. This is a health issue and could destroy the mission of a SpaceX flight if not properly dealt with.
Look, this guy's just floating around. That's how it's gonna leave. The tip right there.
But it comes out in spurts. It doesn't come out in one.
my loads.
Yeah.
Like,
yours comes out in like.
The other astronauts are gonna be like, oh man.
I mean, and he's played
this guy will be there and lap it up for me.
So we've confirmed that this astronaut, Mike Mullane, up here, has masturbated in space.
Well, you know what this article said, Mullane also said, right? Look at that. Look at all the jizz on his face. You're missing the jizz.
I saw it. Who do you think sent this in?
Oh, okay.
There he goes. Where was this scene? In 2010, Space Jizz Odyssey. Okay, so he writes, on long missions, male astronauts are at least informally ejaculate regularly to avoid prostatitis, with NASA advisor Marjorie Jenkins concluding that prolonged exploratory travel would benefit from the people involved doing a bit of prolonged exploring of their own due to infrequent ejaculation resulting in accumulation of prostate secretions and bacterial growth. So actually, it is mandatory. It sounds like if NASA mandates it in the rule book that you must masturbate.
Right, but then why is it a secret? How come we don't, like, everyone wants to know? Talk about it. Mullane also said in that article, in that interview, that what happens is the body fluids move differently within your body. So it's suggested that the reason he's got this rock hard cock in the morning is because the blood is probably flowing differently than it would on Earth. So sometimes it's just, it's implied that there's extra blood in there. That's why because the shift in fluids is different in space than it is down here.
So you're telling me that morning wood in space is so ferocious?
I'm not telling you.
So intense.
A fucking astronaut is telling you. Yeah.
So that means this is a real problem.
It's super hard.
It's a super big problem. You could destroy the mission if you get. What do you fucking do if you get bacteria in your peener and you have an infection? It's not like you're going to the doctor in space.
I'm more interested in whether or not NASA is supporting its astronauts the same way Russia's supporting theirs. Are you sending porn up there? Look at Mullane right there. Look at this big old dick in those white tidy whities
diapers.
right there.
Space porn.
Are they sending, what kind of porn is NASA sending up?
It's so important to know.
I bet it's super boring.
It's got to be easy to download, because isn't it hard to download? I'm sure, frame by frame.
And then all of a sudden you're sitting there, and and then they go, Mike, and you're like, Jesus, are you watching me? They're like, yeah, we're always watching you. You're like, God damn it, no privacy.
Because don't they always monitor your vitals and stuff to make sure you're healthy? So they're going to be like, oh, Mike Mullane just jizzed again. Do they know?
Maybe.
When they're masturbating?
I don't think it's all the time, because you see them sometimes just floating around without any monitors on them. But yeah, I mean, it would be weird to hear or to have them know.
Okay. Show that guy's face when they come out. His face is pretty loud. We gotta make this. Oh, I love it. I love this. He goes right into it. Look at him eagerly lapping it up. He's like, you gotta put that on the YMH TikTok, by the way. We gotta isolate that and put that on the YMH TikTok.
There I am.
Okay, so here's a soaking wet washcloth. Get the microphone so you can hear me while I'm talking. And now let's start wringing it out.
Watch this. This is what it would be like to wring
It's
out
really
your cum rag. Imagine that's full of your load.
Oh.
Oh.
It just stays right there, huh?
Yeah, isn't that cool? There's people cheering. They're like, that's your cum.
That's so crazy.
Coming a tube of water.
It's so crazy that they have poor people in space.
The water's all over my hands. In fact, it rings out of the
Using
cloth
washcloths.
into my hands.
There you go.
And if I let go of the cloth carefully, the water sort of has it stick to my hand.
Why'd they clap? That was so gay. What was that all about?
Because he came so hard. They were so proud of him.
Thank you for watching that highlight here from YMH Studios. That was a highlight or a clip, whichever word you prefer. You watched it, and there are so many more little bite-sized episode things. They're just click them. Maybe it's someone screaming or bleeding. Maybe it's just laughing at someone, making fun of them.
Who is Randy? Don't bring anyone love into this. Your mom in the fucking stand!
Nothing is as exciting to people as watching a chomo get caught, and you are their worst nightmare. When they see you, it's like, oh, fuck. Like, when you go, just have a seat for me right there.
So there was a case just a couple weeks ago down south, and a guy got caught by the police. Was upset he got caught, understood that he was crime, but was relieved because it was just the police and not me. And it says it's in the transcripts of the
public
police report.
shaming.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I can imagine that, of course, committing a crime and getting caught is terrible, right? When the police, but it's probably when you're like, oh, this can be broadcast on television
all over the world.
Yeah,
and then rebroadcast on social media, YouTube, and everything else.
So because it really caught fire, the idea. You pitched it originally as a segment, just like a one-off?
Well, originally, I became aware of Perverted Justice, which was the online watchdog group. They had a website, and they would have their decoys go in and just exist in a chat room. And if they were hit upon by an adult, and the conversation grew graphic, sexually, they would post that person's ID on their website, and people could go to Perverted Justice and see it. And I thought, boy, if we could use their ability to be decoys online and combine it with our ability to wire a house with hidden cameras and microphones, it could be pretty compelling. And so we did it.
Why don't we jump right into our headline topic, which I completely forget.
And I was driving out there.
Right, Discord.
And I got caught in traffic.
I have to change my name.
Yeah, me too, I guess.
This is
nobody shows up.
Okay, let's
and
go
I just
through
wasted
the facts
tens of
first.
thousands of dollars.
Okay, our original article here is
and
from
with
The
that, my
Verge, but
producer
also
calls
from
and says,
Discord
where the hell
themselves.
are
This is
you?
not
I've got
fake
two
news.
guys who are about to knock on the door in 45 minutes.
Be
Traffic clears.
evolving.
So
So
ass
instead
over
of
there, and we get into position, and we had security there. But in those first couple investigations, we didn't have law enforcement doing a parallel investigation. So the first guy shows up, and I'm just trying to keep my heart in my chest. I've confronted a lot of bad people over the years, but this is close quarters.
Yeah.
I've got Ronnie Knight's there, my security guy, and we've gone through it all. There's a protocol, but the guy's right there. I mean, he's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
With me. The transcripts, and so we get to the first guy. And
Did he bring his wine coolers? 6-pack of wine
there
coolers?
weren't a lot of things brought in the first couple guys. They ultimately did, and the decoys would ask for that because it shows intent.
Right.
And the police use that in their cases. But the first couple guys came through and got to the third guy, and I grabbed the wrong transcripts from the dining room table. And I said, it says here you want to do this, that, and the other thing with a 13-year-old named Ben. No, that's not me. Excuse me. Went back, got another transcript. Second transcript was wrong. Finally, I got to the third stack of chats, and I had the right one. It says, okay, great, we can continue.
It's like, oh, I'm that person.
Yeah. Oh, that's
not the first two.
That is me.
That's me, yeah. And
I just had a flash because I remember watching an episode, I don't know how many years ago, where I believe a guy showed up, and I don't remember if he went to jail or whatever, but it was like the next day, somebody was like, meet me at McDonald's or something.
Oh, yeah, it was in our second investigation. And again, it was before law enforcement was all there. I'll tell you this right. So, guy's name was John Kennelly.
Wow, okay.
Right? His screen name is Special Guy 29.
Okay.
He was neither 29 nor that special. We are in Herndon, Virginia.
Yeah.
Set up in a home of a retired FBI agent who I've known for years.
Okay.
We rented the house, did the whole thing. And it was active. I mean, this is right outside of Washington, D.C. And we had a teacher, and we had a guy who was with the military. We had guys from all walks of life, and this guy who walked into the house naked. And the decoys have different profiles. So we have some that are very demure and have had no sexual contact with anybody. Then we have some who are a little more cheeky. And this person, this profile, decoy, said to be really hot if you came in naked. So here comes John Kennelly in his red pickup truck. And he walks in carrying his clothes and a 12-pack of beer. And I'm in the back in the next room with Ronnie Knight looking at this in the monitor saying, leave this? and he walks out, and the producers had put a blanket, towel type thing on the top of the refrigerator. And I walked out and grabbed it, and I said, here, wrap yourself up in this. And that stool he sat on became a part of Predator history and exists today.
Really?
Yeah, a friend of mine has it.
And so you confronted him.
I did. I said, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Because in the profile, he said first he was a teacher and then a school employee. It turned out he was a bus driver. But the fact that we thought he was a teacher, all of a sudden, and now he's naked in our kitchen.
And did he go to jail that day?
No, because we didn't have the police there. So he walks out, right? The next day, there's commotion in the room dedicated to the online decoy. I said, what's going on? And Frag or Dell, I forget which, said, remember the guy who came in naked yesterday? Hard to forget.
Yeah.
I said, what about him? He's back in a different chat room, talking to another kid. And obviously he's not going to come back to the house. Now we've got a production problem because this house is wired. If I leave and somebody else shows up, then we have problems. We've had, 18, 20 guys at this point show up. So I said, set up a meeting at McDonald's or a fast food restaurant. We get online, find it. We go there, 2 crews, big cameras, shotgun mics, and we're sitting in this room waiting. And here he comes. same red truck, in one side. We move in, and I'm thinking, all right, this guy's gonna bolt. I better have my question ready. And I asked him when he walked out the only thing I could think of, which is, at that time, I had been in the business for 24 years. I'd very seldom been at a loss for words. But I don't know what to ask you first.
Injury. And I was like, yeah, because we did a live show after. And they're like, so that's pretty great. And I'm like, yeah, no, you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, you don't want the injury.
Yeah,
Once it happens, it's like, well, what am I going to talk about on my next podcast?
Right.
This, but you weren't like, oh, good.
And people are like, oh, I would do that for a check, and you're like, no, you wouldn't, man.
No.
It fucking sucks.
Yeah,
Like,
to know
what are
it
you
was
talking
coming,
about?
like,
yeah, no way,
You're
man.
just going to talk about what happened to you that week, and that was what happened to you. But
Yeah.
you're not. No part of you was like, thank God,
Dude,
I never would have come up with something.
So cool how my tendon snapped.
Yeah.
And then my arm did too.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's
And I have one of the t-shirts. I have one of the shirts.
You do?
Yeah.
What do you have?
I have the athletic one that I did not know what that meant when I bought it. I thought it was just a t-shirt.
Oh, it's
that I
like
could
the
wear around.
workout one?
Yeah. So it's like shiny. I don't know if we'll ever.
It's the Air Segura one?
Yes.
I'll send you some new ones.
But it made me laugh. I was like, I've got to have this.
I'm gonna send you a couple more.
Okay.
You give me your address. I'll give you a little injury bundle.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll give you my address.
You won't do that?
I'll give you my address.
Okay. See, the way you said that, I was like, he's definitely not giving me his address.
No.
So I always think, like, just even from the early days, like when we would do those early shows, and you always had great, like, just great jokes. It is like the early who we know now, like your comedy now, but like obviously like the early days of like surprise jokes, dark stuff, you know. And a lot of times, you know, we were doing like small shows, like bar shows, sometimes club shows. But I mean, you know, you mostly you'd have really good sets. I would definitely see you have sets where there's a lot of like oohs and ahs, like the crowd, like, oh my, you know, groans and stuff. But I mean, now you do a show, like a big show, your fans are coming out to see you. But you have to have some epic,
I thought John said he's
go
off
well
to that.
shows, right?
No, 100%.
Like-
Especially at like a festival or somewhere where like it's not necessarily for me.
Yeah.
A lot of these shows where I'm like one of many, you know,
Yes.
it can be brutal. It can be brutal. Like back in the Chris D'Elia days at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
If Joe Rogan wasn't there to like balance out the audience and it was all D'Elia fans, he would go out and destroy before. Just absolutely destroy.
Yeah.
And then I would walk out and they took every goddamn word literally and were furious.
Really?
Just like, oh yeah, they would
So
get
at the store, you'd have these horrible bombs.
Even at the
OR?
store. OR, main room. I mean, it didn't matter. Belly room. I've eaten such shit in the belly room where I'm like, okay. But then I go to Largo, you know, once a month and it's my crowd.
Yo, Zero, what's
Because
up?
I put in that work. Where like I'm eating shit in front of these people. Like it just destroys. So I'm like, oh, I have to do that. It's not like, oh, these guys don't get it. It's like, this is just part of the process. But
Hang it out.
I'm always shocked that some people just take me literally. I'll tell a joke and someone's like, are you serious? Like, I'll hear that from the audience.
Yeah.
It's like, of course
Just
not.
chilling,
But
man.
I kind of get it because some people just think comedians.
And if
only
somebody
talk
is
about
like,
their
are you serious? I'm assuming you're
Testing
like,
out my
100% serious.
noise
Yes.
canceling
It
thing,
just
and it's working out
happened to
pretty
be
good
like,
because my
you
kids
know,
crying in the other room. And
I don't
canceling
normally
it out,
perform
it's
at comedy clubs, but normally this is my TED Talk. But tonight I showed up.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like following.
Maybe not to you on Discord, but on the
Like,
YouTube.
especially at the store, and you're like, I don't like. It's either gonna be a wave you can ride. Or
I
you're
told you
like,
that
was
was
that
down, bro.
You know?
Well, I'm so the opposite. Like
Yeah.
follow Sebastian
down?
at the comedy store,
Right.
But it's like I stand very still, and I'm like, and I use my silences.
Gold's
Going
been
after
volatile,
Sebastian
bro.
is
Like,
kind of
it's
like a
at the
fun
highs,
challenge.
dude. That shit has been
that I don't
volatile
worry
as
about.
fuck.
There's nobody that I really wouldn't want to follow unless they try to be just like me.
Oh,
I have to
right.
be careful picking openers.
It's
on the
moving more
road,
than Bitcoin
because
is.
it's always like the one open micer kid who's like, his dream is to open for me. Like I'm gonna see him and be like, yes, that's what I do. Come open
Right.
for me.
But you're
I'm
like,
gonna
you're the same thing.
Yeah, it's like I never want to see that.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Nate Bargatze. I'd
I had
rather
a
watch you.
short.
You know, there's like 5 guys whose specials I watch, or I'll watch in the room.
Yeah.
And usually I just don't want anything to do with it. I can do
Yeah,
it 20 minutes.
I try to think in this way too about
Your noise canceling is canceling out too
bringing
much.
someone open for me, where I go, I want that person to be.
No,
a
is this
different
trying to say that
in mind. Like, I
you
don't
called
want
that gold
a
top pretty
42-year-old
well.
White guy with a beard opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Who's
gets
married
a
with a
little
kid? Like it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, that's why I like to bring like women, or it's like
I got in at
a
1:30 or
single
something,
black
and I
guy,
went
or you know what I mean,
4:40.
like a Latina woman. So it's like at least the POV that you're hearing is different than the one I'm about to do right after it.
Yeah.
You know.
I want someone completely different from me and old enough that I don't hate them by the end of the weekend. You know what I mean? You ever brought someone who's like cool but just too young?
Yes.
Where you're like, this isn't gonna work. Like
Yeah.
I can't talk to you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, I don't have a problem with you, but like in 20 years we can talk about it.
Yeah, like their like life experience, their energy is totally, it's like foreign, right?
Yeah, if you're 22, if you're
But
in your
the
20s,
ex-wife's coming down.
once you're like 29, maybe I'll give you a
it.
shot. But the 20s, I want nothing to do with it.
Do you have a regular like circle of openers?
Every tour I pick a new circle.
Oil's coming down.
But you mix it up on the tour.
Yeah, like basically
NASDAQ
like
just
East
keeps
Coast,
grinding
a West Coast, and then someone when they can't, neither one of those can do it.
Yeah,
like if the NASDAQ can go higher here, then I think
either
everything
they
should
become
go up.
headliners at that point, or I just want new people anyway. And it's getting harder. Like the older that I get, I pay attention to less
really,
of like what's going
so
on
close.
in the scene below me. So I really like have to, take someone's advice on like who's the new person I should take out. And if I recognize the name, I'm like, okay, like we'll bring them out.
Yeah, it's hard to stay like totally in touch with that. Like when you have things going on, you're like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't want to watch the show anymore. Like I'm in the green room until it's my time to go up. And a lot of it's like I don't want to see what comics are doing because I don't want things getting in my head. There's a lot of comics I won't watch until after I've done my specials. It's like they've got a bit on abortion too. I don't want things to overlap.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's like I just don't enjoy watching comedy the way I did in the beginning. Where you're like,
yeah,
they've got a new joke.
It still looks old.
Victor Fernando's got a new one. Like I don't give a shit. Like
I get anxiety.
I love
always
Bears
been like
Dibs,
this
like
too. For the most part, watching sets even locally, like like watching the show, I just have a hard time standing in the room. Like I'll even like let's say in the OR, like I'll stand in that back, like right by that where the stairs kind of go in, and then I'll watch. I can kind of stomach more an act that is such a departure from my so foreign to me. But like if it's somebody that like I don't know is in like my wheelhouse, I start pacing and I step out of the room.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, they're like, all right, they got like a minute left. I'm like, all right, now I can go back.
I just remember like being in New York and doing the Comedy Cellar a lot. Like there was the comics table upstairs, and then to go to the bathroom, you had to go down the stairs and walk through the showroom. And Colin was giving me a compliment saying, I heard one of your jokes walking through because he's like, I don't want to watch somebody's stupid act. And the way he said it, it was like, yes. Like, I just don't want to watch your act. And I used to go down and watch Dave Attell every time he performed. And then I started doing his mannerisms. And I'm like, I've got to stop this right now. Like, part of it is you just don't want to pick up. Do you remember?
I dressed like him for a year.
A lot of people do.
I can show you a picture of me of like in a
charging
black jacket,
gold a little bit more.
And I'm
Then
like,
I'm gonna.
yeah. But I mean, it was like I thought that was like what you would do. You know what I mean? Like when I saw him,
got that trend
and I
line.
go like, oh,
got
this is
two
what I
major
should do.
trend lines.
I didn't even think I was doing something wrong.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you had seen my first like 6 months of comedy before I got
times cooler than regular cotton. Nothing worse than hot sack stuck to your legs and you're just a pile of sweat with your sack just expanding. And
I think Soul's dead.
growing.
Like it might go 2 acts on board, and that's about it.
Get a pair
That's
of
the
new
best
Tommy John
thing.
underwear
Sold
and let your
$40
buns breathe. Keep your cheeks chilled
Yeah.
and ice your cubes all summer
Soul's dead.
long with dozens of comfort innovations like
Rest in
beautiful,
peace, Soul.
moisture-wicking fabric with 4 times the stretch of competing brands.
Arm
You try
stole your
Tommy John
thunder
underwear,
and
you're
Matic's
never
thunder
going
in
back.
one
That's the time
fell
to visit our
swoop.
customer. They have fanatics, literal fanatics, hundreds of thousands of them who after 13 years and tens of thousands of 5-star reviews call Tommy John the most comfortable underwear ever. It actually really is. These things they're incredible. So many different designs, different feel, and you will, like I said, your buns and your berries
doesn't
are
even
going to be
do the
way
same
cooler.
things as them.
Celebrate
the
the
same
4th
thing
of
as
July in
OPOs.
cooling comfort. Right now, get 20% off your first order at TommyJohn.com/bears. Go to TommyJohn.com/bears for 20% off. TommyJohn.com/bears.
They're
Seaside
optimized.
I've tried to work in like a story, and the audience is like,
optimum.
waiting for the twist, and I'm like, this is just a story.
Yeah.
No, but even if it's funny, we
optimum
need
groups, something like that.
we need the twist.
Well, I'll write a joke and I'll just be like, I wrote a joke. And then I'll do it and I'll be like, that's what you get for this hour. And then I go back to what else I'm doing. I don't know. Like you guys, I was always blown away by it, like by like pure joke writing, you know? And like, I remember I was trying to do stories before I had the skill, because you realize it takes a skill set to do them well.
Not just a skill set, but experience. A
Yeah,
22-year-old telling stories is a lot fucking different than a 42-year-old.
Oh yeah, and I didn't. I mean, at the time you don't know it, and I'm like, I remember just
Howard Dapp's
thinking that the story was funny and like trying to and having it just absolutely eat shit. But then like 10 years later, remembering the story, telling it, and
what are we
being
doing with
able to
that?
make it work.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it to like prove the content creators
political
ownership?
comedians when you're in your 20s? Are you
I'm a little lost in what you're talking about.
Why are you trying to tell anyone how to vote?
Like comedians I know, they're like, I don't even respect
these
a comedian, someone who's a comedian.
layer threes that are
it's like shit like that.
No.
Like I don't hear anything.
signing
you
the
have to say.
contracts and prove
nothing.
That's why I went to jokes, because I was like,
so
I'm
that they're
sick of eating
validated
shit with my stories that no one cares about. Like, but if I can do
what about
jokes, like maybe I'm from another.
What does that do? Like,
didn't you
on
write
technology,
like when you were writing for television?
It just allows the blockchain to operate faster and with more capacity, basically, by offloading part of the duty to another
It was me
chain.
and one other guy.
75, 80,
and we didn't know what he didn't have a voice yet, so we didn't know what he was gonna like day to day. He wasn't like,
how does
he
that
loves
create
this
Web3?
topic.
Like,
this is
where does
Fallon?
Web3
Yes, it's Fallon. It wasn't like he
use
was like,
it?
oh, if Fallon's gonna win another Octomont joke. He would be like psyched about one day, and not when he's 10 and giving
Yeah,
those.
decentralize it,
You just have to
like,
give him
so-
80 and be like, maybe he'll like something from
I guess
this
it
because they wanted numbers.
I don't think you're explaining everything
You were
you're
like 80,
thinking.
do you
out
feel like
loud.
these are like solid, like really solid?
What do you mean
So
by
say if-
story?
5 that I would be like, if this got in the show,
If you have decentralized
I remember
social
one time
media, then
Joe
it'd be
Rogan.
like a dap on
Video game?
Video
game one?
Yeah, the video game
Everyone
one.
heard himself?
and then you would
Yeah, but who's gonna
transfer-
pay?
And Kumail
Who's
and I
gonna
were
pay
like,
transaction
along with a
fees
couple
to
other
like
writer
post a
producer
tweet
guys. And I had this
and to
joke,
like
I forget
and to
the
like watch a
details of the
video,
joke.
like pay money
But
to watch a
it's like, it's
video,
in the script,
and
it's
like
in
all
the-
the
and,
background, the infrastructure that runs like a centralized service like Twitter.
Hey, you know, the whole
Like
thing is
it's
going,
not really
you don't
blockchain.
like any of these? Like,
There's not enough technology to
don't-
really
don't
offload
say
that
a joke
entire
you don't
thing.
wanna
Like
say.
you need
He's like, I don't wanna say
engineers
that one.
and
it was
like
mad. I
server
was like, give
space
it a
and
shot,
like
man. Just like,
you know different
what I mean?
racks
Like,
all
just see if
across
you
the
like it.
world
He
to
was
like
I just said I
be
don't
able
wanna do it.
to
I'm like, yeah,
push your
but I wish you
content to
did
the
that.
user
I didn't tell
quickly.
him it was mine.
That's better. I had a guy once come into me on a show. It was like The Burn or something, like a Jeff Ross roasting show, and they're like, "Why don't you want
Web
to do
2
right?"
won't
It was
be
like,
Web
"Why don't
3.
you
Web
wanna
3
do
is
this,
Web 3.
This one joke, like, because I'm like, I usually come in with my stuff.
Yeah.
You know, whenever I do like a talking head thing, they're like, "So we're gonna ask you questions." I'm like, "No, let me cut you off. I've written down jokes for all your questions. Just let me just say them, and if you want to like ask it again, you can. But like I do my thing, you know." And the guy's like, "Why didn't you want to do this one?" I was like, "Oh, I just didn't like the joke. I didn't." And then I halfway through, I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "I wrote it." I'm like, "Don't do that to me. Don't come in and ask like why I didn't like the joke when I clearly said no.
Yeah.
You don't need the reasoning."
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did another one where a different Comedy Central pilot where I wrote on, I don't know what I'm, you know, like how writing staff job, none of it works. He's like, he gives me these note cards and he's like, you know, here's like 5 jokes of like for each topic. And there's like 5 topics. So he's like, just pull out like, he's like,
But like,
good
they already
ones
have
for
a
each
lot
of
of
these topics. So
decentralized
like, I pulled
apps in
for the 5
that use
topics, like all
Web3.
the different writers' jokes, like 4 of the 5 I pulled.
Yeah, you gotta use like
and then he was
Filecoin or whatever to
"These are all
store
yours."
like
And I was
your actual like
He was like,
files,
"No, man, we
and
gotta-
then you know there's ways of doing it, but it's not quick. Like
When I
people
was a
want to
kid,
click
I
on
was almost
something and
5
it like
kids. It was like 5 kids.
being
and 7
immediate, and I don't know if they want to
And,
pay like
we
click around the
went to Montessori
website.
school. We all go to Montessori school, and this is like the year after I've left. Like,
Well,
I've
like
been
gaming
recording
recordings,
in school at one point, and they're doing like an end of the year presentation.
Yeah, but like
And my
the
dad,
games
like,
I've
was,
seen
like, an
look like
amateur
they're like
photographer, and they were like
turn by turn
Justin,
based type
would you
games. They're
do,
not like
the slideshow of all.
I don't know
of
how
all
they
the kids,
operate
and they give all these
exactly.
pictures to do a slideshow, and
Unless
then
they're all
sitting
just
there
running
watching
on
it,
like
it's
I
a
don't
picture of
know
my sister's
server
playing,
end.
and they're like,
I just don't know how that
picture of, like,
technology
one
like
of my other
overlaps
sisters, and it's like,
exactly.
Like the first 20 slides are just his
his
family.
kids.
Just his family. It was like, well, those are the best pictures. And everyone was mad.
Yeah, of course. Like,
It's like where
these are
people
the
would
best
sell
pictures
their
of
fucking
your
RuneScape
family,
accounts
dude.
on
Like,
fucking
what? How did you not think this was
Craigslist.
looked at?
Something like that, I think. But they're selling them on blockchain.
I don't
It's like-
know this about you, so that's what I wanted to ask. This is
RuneScape
like
style
the
game
time
anymore.
where
Like
there's just like so.
I don't know how
much,
popular that style of gaming is. Then again, mobile gaming's pretty huge and doesn't take up a lot of like
it used
back
to be
end
like
to run.
Fringe.
So I don't know.
When we were kids, you'd hear about somebody saying something like, you know, the moon landing, and you're like, what? And then now it's like because of social media, because the internet, voices are louder. You're able to like round up more people about it.
I mean,
What,
you
are
can-
you in conspiracy theory?
You don't need
or
to like
not?
be
I
a new
just-
game. You can just do like card games.
I think it's
like
dumb. When people are like, do your own research. Like,
You
there are
guys
people
have
that do the research. Like,
finance
dedicated their
sourcing.
lives
Yeah.
to doing the research. I believe that. Like I believe science, I believe the New York Times, and I think these people are all nuts. The fact that like the flat Earth is becoming a thing again is completely insane to me, and they all sound like that.
Have you ever seen? There's clips on YouTube of flat earthers conducting like a real scientific experiment, and then the experiment reveals that it's not flat, and they're like, "The fuck, man!" And they're like,
it up.
Yeah. They're blown. There's multiple clips like that. They have like millions of views, and you see them. They're like, "I don't know, man. It looks like it's not flat." They're like super upset.
Yeah.
They're like committed themselves to this.
I don't know what they get out of it. Even like the moon landing, I don't know what you get out of believing that it didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, people you talk about like the frame rates, and it looks like there's wires there.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing about like something like that, you go, do you realize
it's looking bearish
of communication and agreement that it would take amongst
Zero comes in
room to keep that a secret.
How many people were
can't-
there?
The government fucks up so much stuff. The idea they could pull that off is
You can't get 4 people to agree on an appetizer. You think that fucking 300 people in a space bar are like, oh, we're all gonna be quiet about it.
No one's gonna want credit for filming the moon landing, for faking that at some point.
It's wild. Yeah, okay. So that's because I'm basically like, I hear most of them and I just nod. I'm like, that's nice. Like when somebody shares their, but I don't really engage it. I just kind of go like, I can't believe you think this.
It's so dumb to me that I can't, if I even try to respond. But I just don't hang with people who are like that. And it boggles the mind that you would not listen to scientists. I remember like a political cartoon being like, it's like they're on an airplane and they're like, I'm sick of these pilots who think they can do everything. Who says I should fly the plane? It's like, that's what you sound like to me.
Yeah.
Like these people train their whole lives to do this. I hated science as a kid. I hated math. So people who like didn't and were good at it, I believe them when they tell me things. Do your own research is so stupid. It's all that QAnon shit.
Yeah. Did you look into it, man?
Yeah.
And like,
if you look at these videos, like watch this video I sent you, and you'll realize that Fauci's full of shit. You're like, the guy has been doing science for like 70 years. I believe him.
Yeah. Or when people go like, you know, somebody like Fauci got something wrong. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that happens too. You know, human beings are
And he
fallible.
admits, like, yeah, that was, at the time I thought I was right, and now the data changes, so like science can evolve. Like, okay.
We didn't know we were dealing with.
Yeah, that's fine.
That seems reasonable to me.
Totally.
You know? I don't know.
Yeah, I despise them all.
Yeah, I mean, it's like such a loud, it's such a loud voice now. It used to be like, you know, clearly somebody just walking in circles at a bus stop. You're like, that's a conspiracy theorist, you know?
And it's like, you got to respect my opinion. It's like, that's not your opinion. You're totally wrong.
Yeah.
You're totally wrong.
Yeah, I don't have to respect that.
Yeah, like you respect my religion. Like I'll respect your religious beliefs, but I'm not gonna be like, oh yes, of course, like this on the third day. Like I can't do that.
Yeah, you hear that, Nadav? That was for you.
Can people listening to the podcast can hear them laughing?
Yeah.
Do they get paid by how loud they are?
No.
No, they just.
Some people love it, some don't.
I can believe that.
So one thing I learned about you just before we rolled today, I cannot believe that you were in a fraternity.
I was in a fraternity, yeah.
It doesn't add up to me. Like Bert Kreischer, I'm like, yeah,
but
I get it.
We went to very different schools. Like Florida State fraternity is way different than a Tulane University fraternity. Like there were only like 8 at the time. I think there's like 5 now. I mean,
at Tulane?
Yeah, they kept getting kicked off because you're in New Orleans. You don't need a fraternity.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you just went to bars all the time. Even in a fraternity, we went to bars all the time. But like my freshman year, my first semester freshman year, I had friends who we lived on like a co-ed floor. We all became good friends. And 2 of my friends were like very gregarious and would go out and meet people. And they got like early bids into a fraternity, this fraternity called ATO. And they're like, yeah, these guys are like the crazy ones. They're like not like, they don't do like the normal like formals and stuff. They're just like the idiots, like Animal House. And that rang a bell in my head. I was like, I loved Animal House. So one night, me and one of my other friends drank like an entire bottle of whiskey, like pre-gaming, and then could not go out. We like couldn't walk. So our friends just took us down the street and just opened up the fraternity house. They had the code because they'd already been let in, and just threw us on the couches. And we pass out for hours. We wake up, don't know where we are, destroy the house. flip couches, tearing things off the wall, throwing things everywhere, and then we went back to sleep. So the fraternity guys come home at like 3 a.m. and are like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And they loved it. And so for the night, they're like, you guys are awesome, like you guys are crazy. And we spent the night breaking into other fraternity houses, like tearing shit up. And then they just loved us for the rest of the year. And in the next semester, when it was supposed to be like, that's when you actually rush and do everything.
Yeah.
My grades were so bad, my parents were like, you are not going into fraternity. So I had to like sneak under the radar and do it. And I hated pledging so much.
Yeah.
Being a pledge and like all these guys being mean to me. And at the end they're like, we're brothers now. And I'm like, I hate you all.
Yeah.
And so for like the next 3 years, I never paid dues. I never came around. Like I lived next door to the frat house my senior year and never was there.
So you didn't participate?
No. But my best friend to this day, who I have like a podcast with, was in that. Like I wouldn't have met him if not for that fraternity.
Okay.
We both knew that this was not for us and just kind of went along with it. But at Tulane, being in a fraternity meant nothing because you just, again, you went out to bars and drank wherever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I had my like reservations about it. You know, I went to a really small school and I was like, man, I don't think I should. And then a couple, I forget what it is, a couple of fraternities offered me, you know, or whatever it is to
a bid, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like in the mailbox at the, you know, student center. And I didn't do it, but I remember felt frat-like that on the freshman hall, there was a real fucking lunatic in one of the dorms, and he had a very passive roommate. And this dude was a fucking real crazy person. So you would hear death metal, like loud as fuck, coming out of this room. And you go down there, and you're like, hey, what's up? And it's like, it could be like 11 o'clock at night, and it's full blast. And you're like, what's going on? And his roommate is sleeping. I'm like, how is he asleep? I mean, full blast. And he was like, it's my fucking room, you know? And I was like, he goes, you want to see some shit? And I'm like, yeah, okay. He goes, check this out. And he put on brass knuckles. I swear to God. And he goes, watch this. And full over the top punches that dude in the ass cheek. And you just see a guy who's completely just go, like he would wake up. And I would sit there and laugh so hard, but I'm a fucking monster, man. Oh, he would do shit like that. Felt like a fraternity. He would do horribly abusive shit to him.
My freshman year, I'm so excited to go to Tulane. I'm so excited. I had never seen New Orleans before I went down for my first day of school.
Yeah.
But I'm so pumped. And I get there, and my roommate is a Navy ROTC kid. He's got the shaved head. His room is immaculate. He's shining his shoes all the time. He wakes up at 5 in the morning every day, goes to bed at like 11. And I was a nightmare. I was like a total nightmare to be a roommate with because I was going out drinking all night, coming home at 6 in the morning, like just like snoring all day. My room inside the room was trashed. Never did laundry. And I found out later on that when you fill out your roommate forms, you're like, what kind of person are you? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, are you messy or clean? I put like, I was honest about who I was. I'm a future comedian, this is how I act.
You really did?
Yeah, and my dad, before he mailed it in, looked at it and was like, not my son. And made everything like a 1, which is how I got signed up with a ROTC kid. And after I found out years later, and I was like, Dad, you ruined his life.
Yeah.
Like I still just did whatever I was gonna do.
Right.
But that kid, I mean, he could have made friends and like had a real social life at school.
Yeah.
Like you were awful to both of us.
I mean, having somebody set you up with the wrong roommate is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
I had like a real weird, like rich kid freshman year who would spend, he was like, I don't want to really spend a lot of time in here. Yeah. he would leave for long weekends, which was great. And then we had bunk beds in the freshman dorms, and I would let people sleep in his bed, which is so disrespectful. And then he would get back and he would be like, did someone sleep in my bed? And I'd be like, no. He's like, there's long black hairs in my bed. And I was like, I don't know, man.
The housekeeper, probably. I used to put on my roommate's Navy uniform and walk around when he was out of town for the weekend.
Really?
And someone's like, you will get arrested. You will get thrown into jail for wearing a Navy uniform that's not yours. Do not do that. And I was like, oh, Okay. All right. Thanks for letting me know.
And you'd wear that around town?
I would just wear it around campus, like thinking it was funny.
Holy shit.
Thank God, like if any of the Navy kids saw me, they would just beat the shit out of me on the spot. But
Really?
I would just like wear it around the quad, thinking it was like, hey, check it out.
Is it like the whites? Or
It was like a navy blue, you know, over, but it was clearly a Navy uniform.
How did you get it?
It was in my roommates. My roommate was Navy Nazi.
Oh wow, okay. And then you guys are you guys? Is this the one you're friends with now or no?
No. After freshman year, he was like, "Do you want to live together again?" I was like, "You're out of your mind. I'm going off and getting a house." And like I've lived with that guy. That guy's my best friend now.
Okay.
We lived together in like 5 different places.
Oh wow. Is he the one you podcast with?
Mm-hmm.
This episode of Two Bears is also brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer. Bud Light Seltzer launches limited edition retro summer tie-dye variety pack. Look, last summer was stolen from us. We didn't get to have a real summer. So summer 2021 is the chance to make up for lost time. And this summer, we're gonna bring the good vibes and we're gonna do it with Bud Light Seltzer's new tie-dye pack. Each variety pack features 3 iconic summer flavors: cherry limeade, blue raspberry, summer ice. These flavors take inspiration from nostalgic summer favorites. What are you gonna do? I plan on going fishing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna fish. It's gonna be hot out, and I'm gonna drink Bud Light Seltzer. I don't care. That's what I do. I'm a drinker who fishes. What's your favorite summer moment? Barbecuing? I'll probably do some of that too. You can have all the fun you want this summer with the Retro Summer Tie-Dye Variety Pack. Both are available for a limited time this summer, so hurry. You can get them delivered right to your door by going to budlight.com/delivery or pick it up at your local neighborhood grocery, convenience, or liquor store. This episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning and grocery store trips so you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes or less. These are quick and easy, and I'm telling you, it's all measured out. You can bring the family together, your wife, your kids, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever it is, and you do it together. You're making a meal together. You feel like you're a chef while you do it, and you have this delicious, healthy meal to enjoy together after you did all the prep. Absolutely fantastic. You get great value with them. HelloFresh is 28% cheaper than shopping at your local grocery store, 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal without sacrificing the quality. Go to HelloFresh.com/cave14 and use code CAVE14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping. Again, that is HelloFresh.com/cave14 and code 14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. What's the podcast again?
It's called JRVP, the Jesselnick and Rosenthal Vanity Project. It's Greg Rosenthal is my best friend. I'm godfather to it. Like, imagine the person who would make me godfather to their kids. Like how trusting you'd have to be.
Very.
He's an analyst for the NFL Network. So he has like his own podcast. He does his own thing, and we were like,
he's an actual analyst for them?
Yeah. He's like on TV and stuff and writes for them. And at the time, I was like, let's do something together. So we would like sneak into the NFL. He'd sneak me into the NFL, and we would do an NFL podcast, like talking about off the field issues. And like every week his boss would be like, you could get fired for this. Like, Anthony's gonna be fine, but you could get fired. But we were having too much fun.
Yeah.
So at the end of like 16 weeks, they were like, okay, that's the end of season 1, and then like, get the fuck out of here. And we ended up bringing it back.
And you would do it at NFL Network or something?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of fascinated by this. How did he develop the knowledge to be an analyst? You know what I mean? Like, did he play football? Did he?
No. He doesn't look anything like a football player. I don't think he ever played at any level.
But he obviously, so he likes the game. But then don't you have to, like, if you're not working in coaching or as a player,
No,
how do you learn?
He was a smart guy and loved sports writing. I mean, when he lived together, we moved to LA together, and he was working at a production company and hated it, and really was like, I want to be a sports writer. And got in, started working at Fox, would like go in on Sundays and watch all the games and like help other people who were analysts, like give them stats and stuff. And then just kept writing, ended up working for Roto-World. Remember Roto-World?
Yeah.
It was like the first fantasy sports thing before fantasy sports exploded. Roto-World got bought by NBC, and at this point he's gravitating towards football more than anything else. I think because fantasy was so big.
Fantasy's huge.
But
Do you play fantasy?
No. I'm a Pittsburgh guy, so I can't even imagine rooting for another player on another team.
I just never got it. I love football.
Yeah.
You know, I played from 4th grade through high school, and like I just thought that football was The only thing I need, like, you know what I mean? Entertainment-wise, playing-wise, I just football. And people would get so excited when fantasy stuff started, and I was just like, oh, you know, it just doesn't do anything for. I don't know what to tell you. No. I love watching the games.
Yeah.
But
I don't gamble. I don't play fantasy, but I love watching. Like the idea of like my team winning, the Steelers winning, but I lost the bet because they didn't cover I can't have that.
Yeah.
Like that's infuriating to me. But yeah, he just eventually worked his way up from NBC Sports to, he was like the guy telling Chris Collinsworth what to say.
Jesus.
You know, at one point. And then he went to the NFL and he's been there ever since.
So he has a deep knowledge, because like some of those guys, I'm like, how the fuck do you even know this without, like, if you're not like a John Gruden type where you can, like, you know, you ever seen him break down film, you're like, oh my god, like it's so intricate, and like if you're not that type or have access to like a job like that, being like a GA or, you know, something like you're an assistant to somebody, I don't even know how they because it's amazing when you see it done in real time. You're watching a game and immediately the breakdown happens.
But those guys get it wrong. They're like, this guy got beat. It's like, that's not his job.
Yeah.
His job was to cover short. This guy got beat back. Like, this guy was out of position.
Yeah.
Like, I think they said, like, someone said in football, on every single play, someone messes up.
Right.
You know, somebody fucks up their assignment or shouldn't do.
Which is why do your job is such a big thing, you know?
Exactly. But I can't tell you who's doing what. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I love about a great like analyst in a game, when you're watching like Collinsworth, like when you see the play, you just see like the sack, and you're like, oh, he got him. But like when he immediately tells you how protection broke down.
Oh, when Tony Romo tells you what's gonna happen,
it's
and it does, it's the best.
It's amazing. Yeah. He's like, this is gonna be a screen right here to the right. And you're like, what? And then it happens. He's like, yeah, I know, because he watched film all week and he has, you know, thousands of hours of playing in his head. But yeah, I love that, man.
Yeah, me too.
Because I feel like it's something where I already love the game, and you're highlighting something to me that makes me go like, oh, there's more there. You know, I can learn more. I thought you think you know the game, and then you're like, talk to a pro, and they
explain it's a different language.
Like, oh. It's a
different language.
Yeah, I've talked to some pro guys about like little things, and I go like, yeah, dude, in 30 years, that never occurred to me. I love it though. I could sit on a film session, I feel like, and just eat it up.
I don't know if I'd get too bored.
Really?
Like, I love watching the games, but it's like part of it's the way they're shot. The camera's going, but it's like if you just set a camera up like wide angle and it's like let's
practice
watch this over and over again, I would lose it.
Yeah, I just feel like if it made me feel like I now have a higher understanding of what's going on, I feel like I could get into it. I mean, that dude, like now he's coaching again, but he said that like when Gruden retired from coaching initially, he set up a room like at an office. He got an office in Tampa that's just full of game tape, like full of tape, and he would just go there every day and break down film for himself.
It's insane. Look, coaches love to break down tape.
Yeah.
I remember there was like a guy, it was like a coach of some like SEC school, and there was like a hurricane coming. And then like you've got to batten down the hatches and wait. And he was like, told his wife, I'm gonna go into the film office, and throughout the hurricane I'm gonna watch film. And the wife was like, you're staying here with your fucking family, asshole. You're not going anywhere. And it's like all these coaches just want to break down tape 24/7. The idea of being a coach that gets 4 hours of sleep a week and is breaking down tape the rest of it sounds like a miserable life.
Yeah, and I love college ball, and the thing about you have like a fantasy, right, in your head of like, oh, I wish I could work in this field, you know, like there's a momentary kind of passing fantasy.
Every young man wants to work in sports in some capacity at some time.
But the reality of a high-level college coach's life, you're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Where they're at they're there at like 5:30 or 6, and then it's film and it's coaching and conditioning, and then they get in their car and then they got to go recruit players, and it never ends.
Oh yeah, massaging boosters. Not even the guys who are paying you under the table, the people who are like, we'll get you fired if we don't like what you do at this dinner.
Yeah.
It seems like a nightmare.
Yeah, and then you have to have that weekly, like kind of junket with those people, and then you have to do your radio show, and you have to sit there with some dipshit who's asking you about the play calling last week when you guys lost.
Yeah.
Every week.
I mean, the only college coach that I've ever envied, but I've been like, that guy had a great life, Sandusky. You know, Jerry Sandusky, I think, just knew, like, he didn't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, it's not all business. You can have some pleasure in there. But other than that,
Man. Well, we were all waiting for that, weren't we? So what? Fuck. Steelers this year? You think good things, bad things?
I have no idea, man. I really have. I'm glad Ben's back, but it could be a disaster. I mean, every team now
is he like our age?
Injury away. He's 38, I think.
It's wild when you think about the fact that, like, with Brady, you're like, so my entire, like, working life, when I had, like, bullshit jobs and restaurants and then post-production and then I was an open micer and
Adam's looking bearish, dude.
Until today, he's been in the NFL.
I don't know if it's already done it, but
well, there's a point when you're a kid. There's always that thing in the back of your head that, like, he's older. You know, this guy who just jumped over 3 years, it's like, he's older than me, but maybe one day. You know, I could still be in the NBA if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But now, it's crazy to see these players. Like, who was it just retired? The kicker.
Vinatieri.
Yeah, Vinatieri was 48. Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane to me. But I mean, the Steelers, it's like one injury away. I thought they were going to be amazing last year, and then the defense fell apart. Ben fell apart. I think Ben's going to have a better elbow this year than he did last.
Are you Pittsburgh and go to games and everything? You do that?
I get to Pittsburgh a couple times a year, and I would only get there for like the Christmas game, which is like a game. It's like week 17. Nothing's on the line. It's a night game against Carolina, and it's just freezing ass cold. Football, I would much rather watch indoors.
Me too.
But I see a hockey game anytime I'm in Pittsburgh. I go see a baseball game anytime I'm in Pittsburgh because those are better live.
Yeah.
Especially at that arena, that stadium. But football, I hate watching it live. I hate it.
I'm kind of the same way. Like I've been to a number of games live, and I just go, as much as this is definitely my favorite sport, I'd rather be on a couch and, you know, honestly just enjoying it more, seeing the game more.
You can see everything. You have no idea what's happening.
NBA's fun live. I don't know if you've gone to NBA games.
I have a little bit, but I'm not that big basketball guy. So
Yeah.
it's not as fun. I've taken like my godkids to a game, and that was fun to kind of see them. People treat you much differently at a game when you show up with little kids than when you're there like two dudes like drinking beers.
Yeah.
That I enjoyed that experience, but hockey I love live. Hockey live is the best of all the live sports.
I've been to a few. I've been to a couple Kings games, and then like years ago when I was a kid, I went to, they were called the Minnesota North Stars before they moved. But the games it's an intense, fun atmosphere.
It's just so fast. You can see everything. On TV, you're just like hoping your guy comes from the other side of the screen to the puck. Like, you really are just hoping. You have no idea.
Yeah.
But watching it live is really fun.
And those dudes are savages, man. Hockey players are fucking out of their minds.
Yeah.
Doing that shit on fucking skates, slamming into people with that speed. What are you doing? 60 miles an hour? You hitting that guy?
They don't look that bad.
Cigarettes and get wasted after every game. Like, they don't care at
Missing teeth, and their faces are cut up, and they're like,
Yeah, they love it.
That's a little different than, you know, people who flop.
I mean, listen to like a hockey interview versus like an interview in any other sport. Hockey guys are all, it could be the same guy given every interview. They have no ego whatsoever. They don't say anything that would be inflammatory.
Yeah.
They're completely the opposite. They're very humble. The opposite of every other sport.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't see a holding here at all. This looks fucking
right.
bad. Like, look at that signal line of the P
monitor.
monitor.
It must be part of like the coaching, like the upbringing, getting into that sport, of like being humble, like truly a team player, and you ain't shit. And also, it's a humbling game.
Yes.
You know, like just the fact that there's sticks and ice and this fucking puck flying around.
I can't save any more charts, and all the charts I have.
That's a humbling environment.
Well, in football, it's like the guys talking about shit, but like, yeah, he's the wide receiver. They get to do that.
Yeah,
we let them do that. The quarterback can't get away with it, but the wide receiver can. In hockey, there's no wide receivers.
No.
Everyone's dealing with it. And if you do get out of line, they'll let you know on the ice.
Yeah, it's funny because the NFL definitely has like, there's diva positions. You know, wide receiver, DBs.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Like, I laugh so hard at Jalen Ramsey, like, post-game interviews. They're hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, there's nobody, like, sassing people, and then we like, to the reporters, he's like, did he?
Yeah.
Did it? Like, doing all this shit where you're like, it is entertainment. Like, people are like, oh, it pisses me off. I'm like, I fucking find it entertaining, dude.
Anytime it makes someone mad, I'm like, you're racist.
Yeah.
If this makes you mad, if Richard Sherman looking right into the camera and screaming at the top of his lungs, it makes you mad, then you are racist, because that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
You just don't like black people that are all sassy and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Black people that talk shit upset you. You might want to look inside for a moment.
If you do a touchdown dance and someone screams, "Act like you've been there before,"
oh yeah,
you are racist.
Yeah. And also, you've never scored a touchdown.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. If I can't, I used to think like of my senior year, I almost played high school ball just to be on like special teams. Like, and I'm Western Pennsylvania, where it was like, it was the shit. And I could not play football at all, but I was like, special teams would be fun. And they were like, you'd get kicked off the team immediately. You would like have one hand on a tackle, rip your helmet off, and be running around like, no.
I never scored a touchdown.
What'd you play?
I played D tackle. I played linebacker when I was younger. I played defensive tackle in high school. I played on the O-line too. I had like sacks, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries. I had an interception before. All things like I had a sack where I definitely did a ridiculous, sort of whatever celebration afterward. Yeah, but it's like it's in the moment,
Yeah.
I mean, how are you not excited? I can't imagine you score a touchdown, especially at that level. Oh, yeah. And there's fucking 100,000 people there. What? You're gonna be like, here you go, sir.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit here and pray. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do a little dance.
Do a dance. Yeah. I want to dance. I mean, I find it boring to hand it to the ref.
I would be mad if I didn't get a penalty afterwards.
Are you going on tour?
No. I've got it's gonna be at least a year before I can get back on the road.
Seriously?
Yeah. I just need to get the material, and I'm getting up almost every night. But it's incremental. It's slowly but surely. That hopefully in a year I'll have 45, 50. I can go to clubs and then build that from 45 to 50 to an hour, and then theaters. But I can't wait to get back.
I know, dude. You feel it now, right? That things are opening up. Like it's really happening.
Yeah.
Although it does kind of feel like to me it's only happening here. Meaning in the United States. Like every time I look at like world news, I'm
I wouldn't be booking those European shows just yet.
No, but
and I think it's gonna get bad again.
You do?
Yes. I think there'll be some sort of backslide. I don't know if it'll be as bad as it was.
Yeah.
But too many people are being too cavalier that I just don't know. And luckily, like my social circle is very small. Like you're one of I don't talk to that many people even when I go out and do shows. So I'm kind of like off on my own.
Yeah.
That I don't worry about myself so much, but I can just see. And the fact that California is like so excited right now for how far we've come, I'm like, it could dip real quick.
Yeah, and then like things are like open now.
Mm-hmm. I think today's the first day, like you don't have to wear a mask at the gym. Which is a big thing.
Yeah, it was like all over they're like California is open again. But this state's too crazy for shit to just function the way it should. We have 40 million people.
Yeah, but it's some of the states in the South that just never believed it ever, that are still in the middle of an outbreak, that I think those guys, like Michigan, I worry about. Just places that never took it seriously and aren't going to. That one variant comes along and just knocks everyone on their ass.
Yeah, it's a really fun time we're living in, man.
Really exciting.
Yeah. JRVP.
Yep.
Available. Which day does it come out?
It comes out Tuesday nights.
Tuesdays. It's audio only. Will you add video at some point?
If I had something like this, I would love to, but I want it to look good. Even when we did a live stream, buy tickets, and since my friend and my producer do stuff for the NFL, they had the O-ring set up. They looked great. I look like complete shit. Like my lighting is terrible. I don't have a good background.
We can get you some of that stuff though.
And I was like, maybe when you guys abandon this for Austin, then I can take it over.
All right, I'll see you in September.
Seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, a little bit. It's always good to see you, man.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
And you guys check out JRVP every Tuesday, and we'll see you next week.
Bert and Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 Bears, 1 Cave. No scripts, a bit of booze, amateur proctology, dirty jokes, raunchy humor, no apologies. Here's what we call 2 Bears, 1 Cave.
We got to be able to find those girls.
That's a great list to see if you're like, we're trying to find this person. Hey, honey, didn't you live in
go to Rome in 2000 and your feet smell like shit. Drink you a waitress who served Michael Jordan.
Shit.
Stinky-footed actress. Stinky-footed cocktail waitress from Toronto. 100%. Cheers.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
I wish I had your... Are we going? I wish I had your ability to say no.
I think you do, though.
I do not.
But you could do it. I mean, everybody has the capacity to do it. It's just a matter of it's a process.
That would be cool if they had a 23andMe that you do, and they go, "Oh, here."
Oh, you have the no gene.
Yeah.
It's hereditary.
Hey,
I know that my oldest son has it.
Ow,
he's like, fuck you, man.
George has got it.
Oh, yeah.
Georgia fucking puts limitations on me. Today I go, listen, Dad's gonna be gone for a while, so why don't we every day around 5 o'clock we'll get together as a family. We'll maybe sit in the front yard. We'll go for a walk, go for a hike, ride bikes. And she goes, well, we got to look at homework and stuff. And I'm like, stop. You don't get to tell me that.
Right. I tell you to go do your homework.
Yeah, exactly. And then I remember one time I was like, oh yeah, hey, we're all getting, we're going to bounce out tonight. We're going over to the Hayslips to go have dinner. And she was like, let's pump our brakes, Dad. Tom, I swear to God, she was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
She was like, let's check to see with Mom first. And I was like, I think they talk behind my back.
They do. They do. They definitely do.
I would love.
And when you leave for anything coming up, they're gonna be like,
oh, I've already predicted that if I leave for something for a long time and I come back, they're gonna be sitting around a cauldron just going double, coil and trouble. Oh, yeah. Male privilege is back.
Yeah, male. Oh, the patriarchy's arrived.
The patriarchy's home. I'm gonna fuck, man. I've said some really shitty things around our house lately.
What kind of things? Dumb broads? Why don't you fucking tour and make the money? Stuff like that?
Some horrible things in our house. About not... I mean, if our female friends heard the way I talk privately to Leanne about my confusion with raising young women.
Wouldn't go well?
Oh my God, I'd get fucking canceled tomorrow. I get canceled. If someone can get our Alexis cam,
do it
our
now.
Nest cam,
share it with us now.
Oh, I've been at a loss. So when you raise a girl, I thought you raise them the same. I thought you raise a girl the same way you raise a boy.
Yeah.
And then that was what equality was, but it's not. It's not. You got to raise them like a girl, but then also with all it gets a little confusing.
I'm confused right now.
Just if when you have boys, you get to go when they cry, you go, hey, pull it together.
Knock that shit off.
Yeah, the fuck you doing? I'm gonna teach you how to be a man. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, okay? This is a perfect example.
Okay.
This is a true story. I made a bet with a child one time, a boy. We were going to the Rams game. Have I told you the story? Stop me if I told you the story. We're going to the Rams games, for very first Rams games. Me and his dad have season tickets. And he comes out in a Seahawks jersey. I go, yo, what are you wearing a Seahawks jersey for? We just got Rams season tickets. Take the fucking jersey off.
Yeah.
Go back in. You're a Rams fan now. He goes, nah, Seahawks fan. He's maybe 10 years old. He's going into 5th grade, I think. 4th grade.
Yeah.
I go, take the fucking jersey off. And his dad shows up. He goes, what the fuck are you wearing a jersey for? He goes, Seahawks are going to win. I go, bet you they aren't. And he goes, I bet you they will. I go, how much you want to bet? And he goes, you name it. I said, $200. He goes, done. I said, you don't have $200. And he goes, pick it. Go to my room, pick anything out. And I said, I don't want anything in your room. I want your hair. He said, what? And I go, if the Rams win, I get to cut your hair. And he goes, deal. I go, hold on, buddy. Think this through. He goes, deal. I go, hold on, stop. And his dad's already laughing. His dad's like, hey, listen, you should really think this out because this is a bet. And if I'm going to let you do this, you're going to learn. Because he goes, I really think the Seahawks are going to win, so I think you'll take Bert's money. But I'm going to make Bert give you his money. But if Bert wins, then
you got to give the hair.
He gets to cut your hair. And he goes, deal. And he goes, take a beat. Think about this.
Yeah.
And he goes, Dad, I don't need to think it over. And he goes, okay. Make the bet with Bert and shake on it. We shake on it, and I start crying, laughing. Right? The whole family drives in one car to the Rams game, where all I'm doing is Googling bad haircuts the whole time. The whole game, I'm getting drunk. Still, I'm not even watching the game. I'm Googling bad haircuts. Just the worst haircuts you can think. The Rams fucking win. I am now wasted, okay?
Yeah.
We are driving back. School starts the next day. That is a very important part of the story. School starts the next day. The moms are not really privy to what's going on. I am fucking wasted. We go to my house. We get my clippers. We put him in the backyard. He doesn't give a fuck. He lost. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. First thing I do is I cut his bangs to look like Simple Jack, right? So they from Trapping Thunder.
Yeah.
And he looks at me and he goes, does it look cool? I go, you didn't think about this bet. I wanted to cut your hair.
That's what happened when I cut your hair. Yes. I cut your hair and I cut your beard, and you looked up and you go, does it look good?
Me and his dad are crying, laughing, fucking sobbing, laughing, right? We're videotaping all of this. And I go, oh.
Is his mom not pissed yet?
The moms are inside.
They
don't
idea?
know what's going on. The girls are outside. All the girls are outside. And I go, buddy, you thought the bet was my biggest joy in life would be to cut your hair? Like it was a privilege to cut your hair? I said, no, I'm fucking your head up.
Yeah, I'm trying to ruin it.
And he goes, wait, why would you do that? And I said, you should have thought about all the angles. And then the moms came out and they were fucking livid.
Of course, because
and in my head, I'm like,
they're so fucking boring.
Yeah, I go, we're just gonna shave his head anyway. Like he's a kid.
Yeah.
You can give him a nice buzz cut. It's gonna be fine. In my head.
Yeah.
But the thing is, to raise a man, you gotta let him see all the angles. Tin Cup. Remember when Tin Cup goes, I can hit a 7-iron further than you can? And Don Johnson goes, I bet you can't. Hits it 170 and then he goes, huh, and then hits it down the road and he lost the bet. That's how you raise a man. How you don't get into stupid wagers.
Yeah.
Which I've been in the majority of my life.
Yeah, I had there was a babysitter at our house. This is probably August, September, something like that. And I
thought this was when you were a child, and I was
no,
this is gonna be good.
No, this is like whatever, 7 months ago or something. And we're running with Ellis, 15 yards back and forth. And sometimes I pull back, and he would get to the end. He'd go, "I win." I was like, "Yep." And then if I want to, I just turn it on, and then he goes, "I win." I go, "No, you lost." He was like, "No, I win." I go, "No, I was first, so
more bearish or what?
You lost." And the babysitter was like, "You need to do that." And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "He's 4." And I was like, "Yeah, but he thinks he's winning right now. He's losing. So I should tell him that sometimes you lose." He threw a tantrum, he cried, and I was like, "All right, let's do it again." And then I beat him again, and then he cried again. But then eventually he came around, and he got it that like you don't win every time, With a girl, you gotta be like,
these are the parameters of raising a young man. By the way, I know that what we're probably saying is toxic as fuck.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. That's why we're number one.
Yeah. First grade. Tom, I can't tell you how much that life lesson connects with me. First grade, I'm the fastest kid in first grade.
Yeah.
I beat Tony Price in like a 60-yard dash. I'm now the fastest kid in first grade.
Yeah.
My dad ran track and field for Villanova. My dad almost was like an Olympic hopeful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in our house.
He's got wheels then, man.
He has legit wheels.
Mm-hmm.
So I say to my dad, I'm the fastest kid in first grade. And he goes, "Oh, that's great, buddy." I go, "Pretty fast." He's like, "That's really interesting." I go, "I bet I could beat you in a race." He goes, "I bet you everything you can." And I said, "I'm pretty fast. I beat Tony Price." And he goes, "Oh, I'm giving a shit about Tony Price." He goes, "I will fuck you up." Yeah. I'm like, no, you won't, Dad." And he goes, "Let's go out front. Let's go out front and let's race." And I go, "Okay." I get downtown. I put my kangaroos on. I got down.
Ready.
I'm ready. I remember so vividly. There was a cop that lived next door. We posted up by the green fucking power box that would sit on in Florida. There would be like these green electrical boxes that would just hum, and in the winter you'd lay on them because they were warm. I'm sure we got cancer from it. But I remember posting up right by there. My dad says, "On the count of you call it." And I went, I was like, "No, I got the real advantage." Set, go. And I took off running, head down sprinting, and I'm like, I am certain I'm ahead of him. I look over, I don't even see him. I'm like, I am blowing this guy. I look up, and he's running backwards. And he goes, "You'll never beat me at anything." took so many of these lessons. Ready? Sixth grade. I'm playing tennis. I'm a really good tennis player at the time. Well, you know that.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm really hitting them good too. And I say to my dad, I go, I'm really running you around. And he goes, well, why don't we play a match? We'll bet on something. I said, okay. He goes, what do you want? I said, a puppy. He goes, okay. A puppy? I said, yeah. And he goes, if you win, you get a puppy. I go, all right. I wanted a puppy.
So what if he wins?
I had to mow the lawn.
Oh, okay.
So we start playing, and he starts fucking destroying me. It's not even fun anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I can't hit these back. He goes, yeah, I know. You're losing. And I was like, no, but I was just beating. He goes, no, you weren't beating me. I was letting you play with me. He goes, I'm a man, and this is how this works. I don't want to. I remember him very clearly going, I don't want a fucking puppy. I thought there would be a chance.
That was the drive for him to kick your ass, not having a puppy.
I don't want a fucking puppy. But those are such. And by the way, I'm not certain there's a feminist watching our show, but I'm certain there's someone woke watching our show going, this is why you're fucked up.
Probably.
But it's super easy when you raise a boy, because you go, there are certain qualities you need to.
Yeah.
You learn to talk shit to people the way my wife has.
Yeah.
With no backlash sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck yourself, asshole.
Yeah.
Go. But as a man, they pull the car over, get out, and they're like, now what's up? And you're standing in front of your Jeep on Laurel Canyon, and you get knocked unconscious.
Did that happen to you?
No, it happened to a guy online. And I was like, that's a guy who has...
Guys, you learn, yeah. And my dad, by the way, kicked my ass in everything, too. And he also, he was a competitive weightlifter. So he would also do things like, he'd be like, I'm doing, power cleans. And he's like, you're doing that wrong. I was like, oh, how should I do it? Thinking he's going to coach me. And he would be like, just watch me. And I would watch him do it. He goes, do it like that. I'm like, that's not really like coaching.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, and just walk away. I was like, that was a really cool lesson that I learned.
11 years old, I get 26 teeth knocked out of my mouth.
God.
I know I've told people this story. I'm catching. It's my birthday. I'm crying.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
My dad looks at me, he goes, take the gear off. And I was like, thanks. Throws me my infield glove, and he goes, go play shortstop.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, we got 1 out left. If I sub you out, we lose the game. Go over to shortstop. I remember being like, but I tell you what, and now here's I'm trying to teach my daughters the worth in putting yourself in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
Because as both of us know, the reason I'm not saying like we're not the Kevin Harts of the world, but the reason we're making a living as comics is that we've consistently put ourselves in uncomfortable situations, enough so that when we are put into another one, we're not uncomfortable anymore.
Right.
We're actually used to being uncomfortable.
Right.
For instance, that thing I was telling you out there that I had to do, that I was nervous.
Yeah.
I told my daughters, I said I was nervous. I didn't want to do it. It scared me.
Yeah. But you've been in that situation now a lot.
Dude, shooting a Netflix special.
Yeah. Nerve-wracking.
Yeah. And then you got your parents in the audience, or your wife, or your wife's family in the audience. There are nerves on everything. And I said, but the more you get used to being uncomfortable, the more it feels natural to you. And then when you get forced in that, and I'm trying to have this speech with my daughters, and I'm going, and then Leanne's like, do you think they got it? And I was like, I hope so. Either that or I hope they marry well. She's like, what did you just say? And I was like, I don't know. She was like, did you just say I hope they marry well? And I was like,
but that's a good wish to have.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm trying to teach them to be. Is it wrong?
What if they're like, but Dad, you're just gonna leave stuff to us, so why do we have to do that?
My fear is that like you see so much shit on TikTok.
Yeah.
About like fucking. I don't know. I'm saying like, and I'm trying to get out of this, but like say a name, celebrity's daughter is big famous person now, and then all she really has to do is do TikToks and have her dad dance with her. 1 million views, she becomes an influencer and she can get a deal. And I go, I want to tell them, that's not real. Like, don't. That's not the goal.
No.
The goal is to strive. Okay, how about this? You ready for this?
My dad to say he was proud of me. Like my dad being proud of me was like the fucking thing. Like, and I said, and I only could get pride out of my dad if I focused, I worked hard, and I accomplished something that was out of my reach. And I think they were just like, you mean like making dinner? And I was like, no.
But also, they're still super young.
They're still super young, but I feel like at that age, like, and by the way, I'm not also, just to be very fair, I'm being very one-sided in this. If you got my dad on the phone, my dad would be like, oh, buddy, you were a total fuck up. You know, and I'm 26,
right?
And I still am a fuck up. I'm still today a big fucking fuck up. I'm a huge fuck up.
Yeah.
But like, I'm at a loss with raising girls where I go. I just like you can't just beat them at everything, because then you're just perpetuating the patriarchy.
I think you're doing a great job.
Can't mansplain. Like, okay, all right, let's pivot. You ready?
Yeah.
The streets are hot right now. Mm-hmm. Today, on the ride here, I had 3 incidents. 3 incidents.
Of
road rage / accident / almost getting pulled over.
You?
Yes.
Didn't realize you had that.
I have been driving a lot, so I never knew I had road rage. And then I was like, I bet
easy
Tom
in this town.
I bet Tom has great road rage.
I've lost my shit a few times. You know that one time I rear-ended Steve? And I've rear-ended a couple people in this town, but one time I did it and I got out and I was like, what the fuck? To the person in front of me. And they're like, you hit me. And I go, yeah, because this fucking dick hit me. And I turn around and no one had hit me. And by the way, the person I hit a car in front of them, and they hit a car in front of them. So I was responsible for like 5 cars.
Wait, when was this?
2000.
Was this the Malibu?
Yes.
I love that Malibu.
Yeah, this is
that was the
2010.
first time I realized you had taste in cars.
Really?
That was one of my favorite cars you had.
Well, here's the thing. That was when they did a redesign, and it actually looked like, before then, you're like, this looks like shit. And they made like a cool design. It had like a gray one. It looked good. It looked good.
That's a great game. Let's look at the hottest fucking affordable cars, because cars these days are not affordable.
There's so much money.
They're not affordable.
There's
search, and then you pull up top 10 affordable cars. Okay, but give us a second.
Yeah.
Give us a second, and you
go down a little quicker. I know she's very pretty, but like,
come on. It better
it's
just
cleavage.
Be she's really pretty.
She's very pretty, of course. She's very pretty.
Okay, hit a video. Let's see a video.
Okay, yeah, let's see. Been seeing this eye around, and I kind of fuck with it. Okay.
I mean, I'm not asking Bella Thorne to get naked, but more. Okay, go lingerie. Go back.
Yeah.
Lingerie play. Up one. Have you never fucking? Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, it's just a loopsie or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. $5, probably worth it.
I mean, yeah.
She's beautiful.
But it's like a magazine.
It could be on Instagram. She could just put this on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't.
All
I
of it
mean,
can go on Instagram.
I'm not mad at her.
Do we get any nipples on? Not trying to degrade Bella Thorne, but let's be real about what OnlyFans is. Do we get any?
I mean, it's cleavage.
Who the fuck is Bella Thorne? She is really pretty. Is she in anything?
Yes.
What's she in? Star Wars?
I don't think she's in Star Wars. What was she in?
Marvel movies? She was dating The Weeknd? Scroll up. Does it say she's dating The Weeknd?
I don't know.
Go. What does it say Weeknd? Oh, Wikipedia. I read that wrong.
Sorry. Okay, wait. Go to RPCs, please.
I've never. Hold on 1 second. Find me one movie Bella Thorne's been in that I've ever heard of.
Shake It Up, Midnight Sun, Famous In, The Babysitter, You Get Me, I Still See You, Her and Him.
Wait, she's never in any. I don't know any of these fucking movies.
Shake Up. I don't know. I really don't know.
I've never seen any of these movies.
These are all movies she's in?
Yeah.
Jesus.
How does anyone know who Bella Thorne is?
They're 20 years younger than you.
Oh, these are all movies people watch though. Like Unbeatables.
All right.
Egg City.
We're good. RPC. So.
By the way, Bella, if you're watching this, I don't mean to shit on you. I'm trying to get that out of my life. I want to talk positive about negative people, like things that people always talk not negative about.
You're gonna talk positive.
I'm gonna talk positive. We'll try it on another episode. I'll have you list up what people.
Are those all the accounts we subscribe to?
Yeah, I mean, we've unsubscribed since then, but for that segment, yeah, we did.
Let's do a short list. Read off the names of who we've given subscriptions to on a corporate account.
Subscribe to me from my horror. Alexis, Texas, I see there.
Alexis, Texas sounds so subscribable.
Oh, Adriana Chechik.
Oh, wait, hold on. Were we ever? Okay.
She's got to be a top, right?
Adriana Chechik has got to be.
Does it say? No, it doesn't say.
How much is a subscription?
You can do $5.
$5 I got 20 in my pocket. I'll give you $20. I want to pick four more subscriptions.
Okay.
I bet Adrian Chechik goes hard as fuck.
I love that her bio is like, I love to hike, and I have 2 dogs.
Can I tell you? I one time met a playmate. She told me, I know I've told you this. She told me that I was like, so what do you like doing? She goes, that's so funny. They just asked me on my spread, like I'm going to be a centerfold, like what my hobbies are, and I know it. I like holding my breath. And I couldn't stop laughing.
I like holding my breath?
And then I couldn't stop laughing, and she did not find it funny. And I was like, are you doing it right now?
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm breathing. And I was like, tell me when you do it. She's like, no, that's not what it is. And then someone's like, hey man, she's into like deep, like free diving. And I went, oh.
What's a little different sentence? You know, like I'm into free diving.
I swear to God, in her bio it said, I like holding my breath. I just saw it and I laughed even harder. I was like, she never changed it.
Scroll down far on this. Scroll down. Down? There.
Oh, Tom, we could definitely get OnlyFans.
Because we're subscribed to her now.
All we gotta do, Tom,
keep going.
is find out what male celebrities are doing on their OnlyFans and step it up a notch.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
Fucking yeah, and then make it $5. Bella Thorne it. Bella Thorne says $5. It's a roll of the dice. How much money do you think we can make on OnlyFans?
I don't know.
This is how we become billionaires.
On our OnlyFans?
That's my whole goal is to become billionaires.
But I mean, are we going to like do hardcore scenes?
We've done some pretty hardcore ones for free.
Yeah. I mean,
hold on. Maybe we need to stop doing live shows all
Did you
together.
just subscribe to them?
DJ Khaled and Fat
You want to know
Joe.
what they're doing?
Oh, okay.
DJ Khaled and Fat Joe have an OnlyFans. Please let them suck each other's dicks. Please say he's going down and sucking Fat Joe's dick. Please say they're fucking each other. I want to see him naked in a car.
But why would you sign up for this though?
You don't have to. It's free.
Like, I don't get it. Okay.
I love DJ Khaled.
He's great, man.
I fucking love DJ Khaled. That guy gets it, man. Like his fucking sense of humor.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. Go to
Tom.
What?
Let's get an OnlyFans, and what we'll do is oh my God. Do you remember the idea I wanted you and Push to do where it was like edited videos?
Yeah.
Let's do an OnlyFans and we'll edit a bunch of videos like we're fucking each other.
Yeah.
And it'll just be us, and we'll get 2 actors that look down, and we'll just do face swap things.
Love it.
And just hardcore sex scenes. Like I'm shitting in your mouth. Like OnlyFans, 50 cents.
Yeah, these are great.
Getting the car is really attractive.
Thank you for the video.
Hard as fuck in the paint.
Yeah.
In her OnlyFans.
Yeah, she's like pissing in a cup in the car and then fucking throwing it in your face and shit like that.
And she's an Uber.
Yeah.
I love having dinner with my family.
Like, I don't know, man.
The only thing I love more than having dinner with my family is making it myself, but I'm no chef.
I didn't buy
That's
that
why I
one.
love HelloFresh. With HelloFresh,
I just
you
bought
get
Lupita.
fresh,
Because I was thinking if I got a bounce, I could sell
mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. HelloFresh lets you skip those trips to the grocery store, which none of us want to take right now.
We're just in
That
that
makes
time,
cooking
it's
at
going
home
down,
easy,
it
fun,
looks
and
horrible.
affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal.
It goes back up.
HelloFresh cuts out the stressful meal planning of an entire week and all those grocery store trips. So enjoy cooking at your house and then bring it right to your dinner in less than 30 minutes. They offer 23 plus recipes each week.
I think
like the balsamic pork I had. I think it was a balsamic pork with it was a thicky balsamic pork. Oh, with carrots and potatoes. It was
stressful
food. The girls loved it. They offer flexibility, so you need to customize.
It doesn't
your orders
even
every
look
week.
good.
You can easily
I was
change your
looking at
delivery days.
or your food preferences.
Yeah.
Whenever you will need to. HelloFresh, easy.
I don't
eats,
know, man. We're closing the
tons
weekly down
quick,
here. We're
easy
on
meal
our side
solutions
down
like 10 to 20 minute meals, low prep recipes, quick
I don't
breakfasts
see-
and lunches, perfect for your busy schedule. If you'd like to try HelloFresh for you or your family, go to hellofresh.com/cave10. Use the promo code CAVE10 for 10 free meals.
Me?
Including
Yeah, you all bearish like Dave is super bearish right now.
CAVE10 and use the code CAVE10 for 10
Is Dave
free meals,
super bearish still? I don't
including
know.
free shipping.
You're talking about 10K.
Joe Reed
It's
left
America's
in the
number
middle
one
of the
meal
night.
kit.
He's talking
There
like
are
going.
times in life where it's worth it
Blows.
to pay a little more. It's just worth.
Obviously,
you ever get check-in at the
there's
airport?
been a
and
lot
go,
of
hey,
risk.
actually,
There's a lot
you
of
can,
risk to the
you can
downside.
upgrade
That's
for like.
pretty much what I've been saying.
You're like,
so
yep.
There's a lot of risk.
Upgrade. Upgrade the flight.
But
Vacuums, don't buy
I
the
don't
cheap
just
one,
get
buy the
bearish
expensive one.
because of
You
that.
use it all the
I feel like a
time.
lot of
Steak?
people- That's the reason that they're bearish
Go for
because
the
there's so
rim.
much risk
Yeah.
to the downside.
Yeah,
I don't get bearish
Get the good
just
bad.
because of that.
Absolutely.
We were at the
And
exact
there's
same
a
price
world of
yesterday at the
difference
exact
between
same time.
Sadness in your drawers and Tommy John underwear. First time I was
Yeah,
given,
but we're gonna
given a
close the
pair as a
weekly
gift,
up,
I was
bro.
like, oh my
But
god,
in order for
it
the
is so
weekly
comfortable. It's like, you know, they kind of feel like they were
You can't close the
bespoke,
weekly
they were
up.
sewn for your body.
Yeah.
So comfortable,
There's no
innovative,
weekly bowls,
breathable,
no versions.
lightweight, moisture-wicking fabric, 4 times the stretch of competing brands, over 13 million pairs
The
sold
weekly's
as a reason
pivoted down.
by so many people.
I would argue
We
that
need
my
it to be
favorite part of
pivoted
my
up.
body is my junk. Why wouldn't I spend the most?
just
money
doesn't
on
look good.
something
I don't know.
that does it all?
Thank you.
The things that I
Returns
look
and
at
exchanges
are
are
just
free,
not
and right
good.
now get 15% off your first order at TommyJohn.com/bears. That's 15% off Tommy John underwear and loungewear at
You're picking up their house, was that?
TommyJohn.com.
It always looks hard.
See site for details.
Major
Go
support.
to
always
so
happening.
last time we were talking about
We
Rome.
usually have
We talked about
bonus
Rome,
divergence at
and I was like, oh, I ran around town.
So attractive.
I
I
ran
don't
around
know,
town.
man.
So
This
this is
looks
what I thought would
bad.
be funny, and
I can't.
I know
I can't
could dig
find
a couple
anything
more
to
things.
look good.
But do you think it's possible with the reach of this show and the
And there
way
should be
that-
a lot
do
more
you think it's
stuff
possible
else.
to find these two? Like,
There's
now,
nothing.
this is
There's
exactly
not. There's not. No
21
weekly
years
bullish
ago.
divergence. No
So
daily
that's a
bullish
long time.
divergence.
I bet we could find them.
I don't even know if there's
Here's
4
what I
hour
remember.
divergence.
I'll tell you what I remember, and then if
This
it's
is when
possible,
don't
it would
worry.
be
Like
pretty
this
funny
is when like
if it's
something's
possible.
gonna happen
All right.
with like
So
the
I'm in
government
Rome.
shit.
I'm alone. I came
Watch
over from
something
Madrid to
happen
like spend
where
a few
all of a
days there.
sudden,
I stay at a hostel.
yeah, charts
Just
wise,
like to
yeah,
check shit out.
probably.
This is
You know, you
head
always
and
run into,
shoulders
like,
on the weekly.
parts of the world. So the first night I hung out with this dude from Switzerland, and these chicks
So
from
what? Do we want to just like split up the
Then I
Matic
go
and
to
send
the
it back to the
store,
addresses?
get
Like,
off
what do we want to
the
do?
train,
Buy gold?
see these two just walking, let's say, 20 yards ahead of
Are
me.
they your age in this?
Should we? Should we have a vote? Who
They're
got?
very pretty. So they're like 20 yards ahead of me, and I do something I think it's uncharacteristic of me, which is that I just see them
It's
and
so
I'm
hard
like,
to think
I'm
of
just
what
gonna
to
go up
switch
to
it
them. Like, what do you like? Who are, hi, whatever. So I just go like, what are you guys doing? Checking out Rome. Like, me too. You guys want to go together? And they were like, yes. So I was like, great. So we start walking around Rome, checking out, you know,
I
whatever.
wish it was
right,
just still in the
sites,
fucking bot.
We get
Wouldn't have
ice
the fucking
cream
problem.
and
You're right.
and
We would be
we-
up
so here's
like
what
a
I
bunch of
remember.
money.
They're Canadian, right? They're Canadian girls.
Or you
The
all think it's
blonde-
gonna down and
The blonde was
Here.
dating an actor.
You
Not
think
a
it's
well-known
that
star.
hard?
Canadian women aren't.
Yeah, you just switch it for Bitcoin.
Because they're so trusting.
No.
Like the Canadians are totally the type that you're like,
Better
hey,
than
what are you
gold.
guys doing? They're like, oh, okay,
feel like-
I'll help you put in your van. Come on, come on.
What do you
get
think,
in,
Austin?
Janet.
You guys
We're
go for
getting
gold
the
or
front.
Bitcoin?
Hey, he wants to duct tape each other's hands together so
I'd
we can
rather
hold it better.
just
Rest assured that Canadians get murdered every year.
Bitcoin gives
So-
up
yeah.
birth
Hey,
for
no,
an
no, no.
result.
Who gets serial killed more,
If-
Canadians or
what if you go
Americans?
up?
Even though
Okay.
I guarantee
All right.
you it's Canadians.
So-
It's gotta be Canadians.
Yeah?
Just
All right.
women.
Just women?
Well, yeah.
It's
All
probably
right. I mean,
that or MX
I
or
think Canadian women. Serial killer stats by country. Oh
Don't do
fuck!
that.
Wow, you guys are killing
Don't
it
do
today.
that.
wow. All right, let's go to
But
probably
Bitcoin
Canada.
pumped hard today. Bitcoin is up fucking 25%.
You're in Canada. Okay. Let's see. Scroll. Those are all the serial killers.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Is
Take a look at
JB
that.
Sue?
All right,
Is
that
that
did go to
bad?
America. United States of America.
No.
United States of America.
We're gonna have to break it down into subcategories here.
What? Is that who?
No.
Oh yeah, they have
have a.
Wow.
No, that's
JB's
Wow.
that's B Money's friend.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Holy shit! You gotta step up your game, Canada.
I wonder.
Yeah, don't hold a candle to us.
Yes.
Motherfucker.
We're definitely murdering way more
It
people
is?
over here.
Yeah.
Is it per pop? Do you think we have
Figured
more
that.
people than Canada? That's why we kill so many people?
10 times the people?
No,
I mean, it definitely affects numbers.
I mean, I would have thought.
They have about 39 million people. We have 330 million.
Do you think serial killers are like, I started in Canada. It's like the farm system up there.
Yeah.
Super easy.
I mean, it's a really great place to dispose of bodies, but just like...
I mean, you can get rid of bodies so easy in Canada.
But there's so much that's kind of uninhabited and uninhabitable, you know?
It's not fucking good.
And then you put it out, it freezes over.
I'm gonna do a job.
Totally.
Okay.
All right, go back to my...
Let's go
We're
back to these two
we just
Canadians
lost
that
the
have
board.
been killed by serial
Oh
killers.
my
So the
god,
blonde,
dude.
right? The blonde...
Stop.
I do not remember
Fucking
either of their
dude.
names.
Damn it, Tom.
I
I
mean-
make it really tough.
I know, but here's the thing.
Oh,
She's dating an actor, and I remember she said he had done... he wasn't like a notable name, but he appeared nude in some show or movie at that time.
There it goes.
Right? And she
There
was
it
like a butt
goes.
shot.
Oh,
And I was like, okay, whatever. The brunette was telling me that she worked as a cocktail waitress in Toronto. And she had served Michael Jordan. And I remember that because I was like, what? This is like, of course. Of course. So I was like,
You're so bad with details. The one thing you pick up on is she was a cocktail waitress and served Jordan. The other girl's like, no, it was crazy. You're like, enough of your story.
I'm so glad I'm not wrong.
Don't tell me either of your names.
Now here's the thing. No, they definitely told me their names, but I definitely don't remember. I definitely have better photos, and I have to find them. We did take more photos that day.
Look at how cute you are.
Absolutely.
And zoom in on Tom's face.
It's not the most clear photograph,
You're not in
Okay,
any
so we
loans,
get
are
a
you?
good picture of their face.
I have a couple more photos.
Yeah.
So the brunette.
Yeah, I know
sitting
you
in
are.
More importantly, let's find the serial killer box.
No, the only thing I've got is a really small NX position that I've got auto increase margin on, so I can ladder in if it really dumps, but it's only like
later in the
$50.
day, right? Now the blonde's giving me like
It still didn't hit my
like,
2685.
but the brunette seems like she's kind of game,
Bro, I don't see no point. I don't see any point in holding longs or adding anything or buying anything
in Toronto.
if we don't fucking go the fuck up from
Oh
here.
fuck! I think that's my wife. Honey, come here. Is that you? And she pulls up. You're like,
Yeah, anime is bearish
fuck on the
too.
train. He's like, never mind.
Well, this might actually make somebody go like, I think that's her, and then confirm it, right? So we're on the cart. We're in a train cart now, later in the day, and I'm totally bricked up at these times.
If we go up from here again and it didn't hit my order, I'm gonna be pissed.
So I'm walking around with a heart on all day, and the brunette's like kind of flirty and fun. So she's sitting across from me in this train cart, a private train cart. She's here, and the blonde's over here, and I'm kind of like, blonde, stop talking about your stupid fucking boyfriend, right? Why don't you jump off the train? So the brunette, she's like really engaging. She goes, oh my god, I got like the sexiest shoes. Do you want to see them? So I'm like, yeah. She's like, put them on. And I go, yeah. And she goes, okay.
I hate
encouraging her. She goes,
This Bitcoin's a fucking bitch, dude.
Why? And she goes,
I knew it, bro. I swear, like.
And she goes, I can't.
It's been being such a bitch, dude.
Because it smells. I was like, I don't care.
Ever since
shit,
fucking,
she's like,
April 30th.
can do right now,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't care.
I go, I don't care. So she's like, okay. And she starts. She goes, I can't. I go, yes, you can. Like, just put on your new hot shoes.
Put on the fucking shoes. Please tell me you have to take your pants off first to put them on.
She's got a skirt on. So I was like, just put them on. And she was like, this cart will just stink. I was like, what the fuck? So what we know is that they're Canadian. The one was a cocktail waitress in Toronto, and her feet smell like shit.
Put a list.
Yeah.
Cocktail waitress who served Michael
I
Jordan
don't
in
know. Yeah, dude,
Toronto.
I'm definitely bearish.
Stinky feet. Friends with a girl.
I've been trying to ignore
who
them.
dated an actor. That did soft porn on Showtime.
This is spring of 2000.
Like,
So, and she's in
we
Rome. I mean,
bearish
that's
as support, or
That's when you were there?
That's spring of 2000.
That's 2000?
It is being bearish.
21
Don't
years.
get me wrong. This is support.
in LA.
This is where you
Yeah.
want a long every
Yeah.
time it fucking goes below. You
That-
put a stop loss.
Crazy.
Look
We
at
gotta
this.
be able to find those girls.
That's a great.
You want to put a stop loss at
We're
26.4,
trying to find this person.
and then you do like a big long, huge fucking long position. As soon as it goes right below like 26.8.
Waitress who served Michael Jordan.
I mean, I'm sure that's what a lot of people are doing.
And we had.
What if this guy's married to this girl, and he's like, hey, didn't you? Wait, you said you had sex with one black guy. Was it Michael Jordan?
Shit.
Stinky footed actress. Stinky footed cocktail waitress from Toronto.
This looks like
I
garbage.
would love to see what she looks like now. I would love to see what she looks like now.
I bet they look good. I'm guessing.
There's a hot fucking girl growing up, and it was, it's so funny what Instagram does is there's like.
I looked at the book map out there. There was a lot of buys.
So hot, and I saw a picture of her
down here.
And she is no longer hot, and I was like, ugh. And then you see a picture of a girl maybe you didn't pay enough attention to.
I don't know if it's gonna be enough to hold the fucking price up.
Or they're in like some people like. There's a let me see if I
don't know. I was looking at the book map the other day.
Who does this thing on Instagram?
I think it was when we first got
so
that first. Yeah, that was when we first. It just
Katie Peeper is her name. It's not her
like
name.
You see,
anymore.
you get a bounce, and people just.
I remember seeing a girl out of.
Normally, you
like,
get a
once we went
like
to
you go
college
to those lows,
that
you get a
had
bounce, and
total
it just
blow
feels
up.
like
She
either
was
goes
like
up slowly or it
high
will
school.
like
like nobody talked to her.
Just
she
get a
totally
hard bounce
blossomed
back
afterwards,
up.
and I
That
was
shit
like,
was
oh
like.
my god, everybody.
All right,
there was
this
people
is this
fucking
girl.
selling
By the way, tell
huge.
me if this isn't mesmerizing, all right?
Like there's huge
She's actually a
buys.
girl, she's a grown woman.
The bots will start buying it up.
Katie Peeper White. She's probably like, Bert, don't blow up my spot. She has on Instagram.
Who makes like
her
big
Instagram
moves back and forth.
Katie
Wait, did you say don't blow up her Instagram? I mean, do you think that's gonna
like time,
She's an
small
artist,
volume?
And I think it's cool what she does.
There's no
Like,
fucking buyers.
I'm fucking fascinated by this.
The algorithms
And
are
I
trying to
really,
figure out, like,
next time I'm in Tampa, I'm like, hey,
how
can
much can we sell without dumping?
And watch what she does. This is fucking so cool. So, Katie White Artist, Katie White Artist, and go to her Instagram. Yeah, nope, it's not fine art. Nope.
It's
Katie
just
White
gonna
art,
grind sideways at
artist.
26.5.
Artist. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay.
Probably going 26.5.
Scroll down.
Sideways.
Okay, look at this last one. The first one, very first one. Okay,
figure
it's gonna hear
see
some
what happens
music.
after that.
But look what she does. She does this every day. She does these paintings, and it's so fucking badass that I'm like, I bet that would be.
That's very satisfying to watch.
Wait, it gets better. She keeps adding to it, and you watch it grow.
Yep.
And this is what she puts it to music, so she'll play cool music. She does this every day. Look at that.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking satisfying.
Yeah, it is.
And I watch it every day. I'm excited when
You
she
went
gets
to
a new
high school
one.
with her?
I grew up with her practically. I mean, I've known her since probably 8th grade. She does this, and then it's a beautiful, tiny little painting.
Yeah.
And she does it to cool music. Like look at that one. Just hit that one. Oh, that one's already done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like keep going. Go to one that she did, and you can see her do it, and it's so much. Go to one that you can play. There we go. Yeah. Like it's just like so fun to watch the water run, and then you're like, oh my god, dude, to get high and do that.
Yeah.
I could do that for fucking hours. Oh man. I literally was like, when I'm in Tampa, I'm gonna hit her up and be like,
I gotta take a fucking tolerance break from edibles.
Why?
Because it just keeps going up.
I know, I'm doing that with alcohol.
You've been doing that.
Yeah, I am consistently doing that with alcohol.
You mean for 25 years?
Yeah, but I'm doing it for real now.
Really?
Yeah, I actually talked to my producer of Go Big Show.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not bouncing back like I used to. I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm very punitive. It's like, remember we were talking outside, and I was like, all of a sudden I'm beating myself up, going, "What are you doing with your fucking career?" And what has happened is, I think because I'm not to be fair, but like not to be unfair, but like I've not removed alcohol out of my life, but I've definitely transitioned my relationship with it, in that I have much larger periods of not drinking at all than I've ever had. And what happens is that punitive part of my brain was very good at, when I was hungover, getting me to do shit. You're a piece of shit. And I'd be like, yeah, you're right. I got drunk last night. He goes, then get the fuck up. What are you doing with your life? And I was like, no, I'll figure something out. And so I'd get up, I'd work out, I'd create a video, I'd do a podcast. I'd be like, let's think of an idea. Let's write some jokes. When I removed alcohol, and like I said, I haven't removed it totally, but just switched my relationship a little bit with it, I now just wake up with the same punitive voice, but I'm doing okay, but the voice is still there. And then the voice is like, dude, what the fuck are you doing with your career? And I'm like, I'm doing okay. And he's like, the fuck? I can actually hear the voice start, Tom, and then I go, oh, fuck, let's not do this today. Today my voice is like, probably gonna have oral cancer. You're probably gonna have it because you've been fucking around with this tooth for so long. Like I went to the dentist again yesterday.
Are you gonna do more tooth stuff?
I gotta go in again Tuesday. And so, but like I still have that punitive voice, and I keep going back to the shit you said about trauma. Because I go, what happened to me as a kid, where, like I can't just, like I like myself, but like if you let me stay in a bed by myself, my brain's like, it's just me and you, fuck boy. Yeah. I'm like, hey, can you not do this? And he's like, nah, we're going at it, buddy. I used to call it big brain, little brain.
Big brain, little brain was like the voice, like angel devil stuff?
Yeah, big brain was the fucking loud one, and then little brain was the one, like a perfect example was Rome. So I woke up in Rome one morning.
Where I met the two lovely girls.
And I had this, I still have it, I have like a little red spot on my cheek. I've had it for fucking ever now. I'm sure it's just sun damage, but it's the first time I ever noticed it, right? It was in Rome. Someone pointed it out to me. I was like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, oh shit, is it skin cancer? Fuck. Skin cancer goes pretty quickly. Now it's been 10 years. So I'm like, and so I go to bed that night and big brain's all in my head. He's like, got fucking skin cancer, dude. This is a game changer. Fucking cut a big chunk of your face out. Good luck being on TV. No one's gonna look at you, fucking ugly ass motherfucker. And then I just drink. And then I drink enough where big brain shuts up. And this little brain is like, all right, he's asleep. Okay, we're gonna be fine. Tomorrow, do not look in the mirror. Whatever you do, don't start your day off looking in the mirror and obsessing about this, okay? Yeah. So then I drink, I go to sleep, I wake up, and the little brain's like, hey, he's still sleeping. Let's get our day started, and don't wake him up. And I was like, okay. So then I'm like in the shower, and he's like, you're doing good, man. Your face hurt? And I'm like, no. He's like, then you don't have fucking skin cancer. You're gonna be fine.
Do you hear those like voices?
In my head, I'm talking to myself. And then I get out of the shower, I go past the mirror, and he's like, don't look in the mirror, you're gonna, and I hear Big Brain go, you guys let me sleep in? Oh, what about the skin cancer? And I'm like, fuck, little Big Brain's back. And then Big Brain fucking, I know, I sound crazy.
Do you guys have these conversations?
No, of course they don't, they're dead inside. They're like Leanne, is what happens is, the regular person doesn't have, I really feel like the regular person doesn't have overwhelming inner dialogues. They just wake up and go, and their brain goes, guess I should make some coffee. And they just go make coffee, and they don't think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're not going aggressively.
Yeah.
Like attacking themselves and then defending themselves, or obsessing about a joke and obsessing about an angle. I mean, dude, you know how I brought up fucking Hilaria Baldwin's accent to people, and they just think I'm a fucking lunatic.
Why?
So I'm trying to write a joke about it.
Oh,
it's
oh man, we gotta come up with something better than
I
just
got a friend, Candy, who's Asian. You met her. You met her in the tour bus. Spokes.
I met her way before that.
Yeah, you met her a bunch.
Yeah.
It definitely has.
Like, is there any way you can validate or like Matic or like be like, yo, Matic's definitely going down more?
Not in the world, but like just
a notable accent.
It's a noticeable accent.
Like I'm looking at like.
I have an accent. I go, you definitely do. And then she goes, I don't.
If I shorted it, I missed it already. Those little scalp shorts, but now it's getting harder and harder to do. And we're at the low from yesterday.
And the idea being
the exact same place we were yesterday at the exact same time.
That the concept of not having an accent is so egocentric.
So you might as well wait.
The idea that Americans would say we don't have. I used to have a joke about it. We don't have accents.
It's
right?
spot.
That we don't have accents is so egocentric. Of course we have accents. We don't hear it because we're Americans and we think we're number one. But we go other places, we're like, man, we go to Switzerland, everyone's got an accent, as opposed to going, we just showed up and now we're the one with the accent.
Right.
And then my theory is, and this is, I'm obsessed about this, you can lose an accent.
You can.
Why do we say lose an accent as opposed to gaining an accent? Pretending to have a new accent. Like Leanne has a southern accent. So let's say that's her ground zero.
You can make an argument that it'll go up here.
Redneck, don't match my cigarettes, pa, kind of accent, right?
Yeah.
Then she moves to LA and loses her accent, but when she comes back home, they're like, oh, you don't talk like us no more?
Yeah.
You phony,
I think
LA phony, right?
If Bitcoin goes below...
I'm just trying to defend Hilaria Baldwin.
Dude, what if Bitcoin goes all the way
takes? Why can't you say the Hilaria Baldwin simply lost her Boston accent
At least
picked
now,
up a new. No, I don't know anything about the thing.
Possibly as
so
low
many
as like
people
72
I like how you're like,
cents.
I'm trying to write a joke thing. I don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything. I think she's like, the only thing the suspect is in the whole thing is when she's doing the cooking show.
It's really not that
What
much
do you call
money,
this
so.
fruit? And you're
Cucumber?
like, it's a cucumber.
Yeah.
Like,
How do you say cucumber? How do you say it in English? Cucumber.
yeah. But like that's my,
sometimes if I
Scott Bullish, I've heard
in
it
Spain
before.
for a while, then
have you ever caught up? Have you ever caught a little bit of a Spanish accent?
I've done the thing where I've done the thing which she actually talks about, which I legit to a
I mean,
degree.
it already fucking
If you were
dropped so far.
fully immersed in another language for an extended period of time,
Yeah.
you could trip up on words easily and forget how to say things. Like,
Really?
for instance,
I mean, like,
semester
are we
abroad,
just
or,
refusing to sell
you know, I would
loss?
spend
Is that what it
the
is? Like,
summer
I don't
in
think that's
Peru.
good.
So I mean, if you're
Risk
speaking
management.
Spanish 24/7 for week after week after week, yeah, there's going to be moments where you go like, you kind of blank on something, or, you know, I remember when I got back from Spain. You know, that's also, I'm going to University of Madrid, so I'm doing classes, writing term papers, you know,
In Spanish.
dreaming in Spanish. Like, so I get back
Dreaming in Spanish?
fully, yeah, all your dreams.
Shit, and you're fighting and stuff.
Went to, you know, because she would say something grammatically incorrect and I would correct her.
We're traded.
Yeah. But also, the interesting thing
Another
about
thing.
that detail
Like, what would,
is that
would
at that
these
time,
are
so
long
it's
here?
20 years ago, which means my mom would have been like 55.
I
So
haven't
at
been
that
long
point, she is 25 years
Anything.
in the United States.
Except OP,
So her
so
Spanish
dumbass.
is actually declined.
So then I wonder.
Well,
if
that's
when-
I don't.
know,
Then I
then if your mom goes
Let's
back to Peru,
you about it then.
if people are like, "What's this fucking accent I'm hearing?"
Well, what
I
they
don't
do
know.
is,
what
they
maybe
do
we should
is
switch
they
to
go
Bitcoin.
like,
I think that's best.
your slang is really.
Yeah, I mean,
It'd be
you
like
think
if
they're
you
in
walk
like
into
the
a place,
food,
you're
they're like
"Slime
swamp.
me some skin, brother."
I don't think anyone's fucking thinking of that. Because JB Zoo is all talking about like, oh, we'll do like 5 things with it. I'm like, the fucking fee to do 5 things is worse than just stapling out now.
Yeah.
No one thinks.
Because she'll all her rep, like all the way that she speaks is from like the 60s and 70s.
You should.
Right? So it's like, imagine if you were
I think my
groovy
best
guys,
plan for it
and everybody's like, "The
would
fuck
be
are you
look
saying
at
right
Bitcoin.
Because you didn't keep up with it. You
Gag
know?
me with
Matic.
a pitchfork.
Exactly.
Oh, that's such a fuck. See, that's okay. So like, I don't have Leanne's brain. Just Leanne's brain. I don't know about Leanne's brain. Like, it just wakes up and it goes. I think it just is like chore
And
oriented.
also, the price has been going up since you've been like, oh, we should sell.
She's like, make
So we would have done it. We would have sold the fucking bottom.
make a feed dog. Like, her brain, I think that's what her brain does. Whereas mine goes, I was obsessed with it, and I don't know. I can't.
Yours goes what?
How the why? What happened to Bill Burr's accent? What happened to why?
Dude,
Why
Matic is
can't
bleeding
and then I just start obsessing about it.
On the Bitcoin Matic chart?
Like 25 years ago.
For real?
Yeah.
He's got a huge Boston accent.
So
heavy.
So then I'm not. By the way, I don't have any skin in the game with the Hilaire Baldwin, but I see if I can find an angle like that, then I want to write a joke about it.
Yeah.
And so then I obsess about that all day long, or I attack myself,
No.
or I just
I say,
attack myself.
I'm just gonna keep an
Yeah,
eye on the
like-
Bitcoin Matic
like-
chart. If I think
Like my inner
it a
dialogue
bounce?
is not safe or healthy. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean,
But I'm wondering if it's.
you talk
about
about
It's,
it.
it's showing the long.
I don't know
Well,
what
trauma definitely would affect
You
you.
literally have an algorithm price signal at that bottom.
I've never.
With
I'm
all
recognizing
like,
my daughters. I'm recognizing when I'm.
and I'm trying to trade this on
I'm
buying
recognizing
this.
that you did it to that girl that you cheated on, and then you blamed her later.
You want to sell it. And I'm really confused.
I'm recognizing all the times I caused trauma
Yeah.
and going like, holy shit.
It's down
There's a lot
25%
more I want to talk. We'll
in
save
the
it for another
past.
podcast. But
Yeah.
there's a lot more
Like
I want to
2
talk about. All the unhealthiness.
So obviously it's gonna get a
I'm
bounce
imparting on
somewhere.
my daughters. Where I'm just like,
That you're imparting
Dude,
on them?
Matic
like
is
where I just
not
don't
doing
know that I
good.
do it. I don't know that I do
Should
it.
have switched
and
it
then I
for
do
fucking
and then
Bitcoin in
they're like-
February.
They're like,
If you would have switched all
can't-
your Matic for Bitcoin in
you can't
February,
do that. And I'm like, and it's
you
not
would've
like
saved
stuff like you can't do
yourself
now.
from
You could have never done it. You're never.
I didn't
51%.
have a lot of it. Like, what are you talking about?
I gotta pee, which is a good time to wrap up.
All right. Did we forget anything?
Yeah, we'll get to it later.
The live show. Everyone, make sure to go check that out. That was a lot of fucking fun.
Oh, what do we do about the hats? I texted you yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
So,
That's insane. I'm just saying, because I have a bunch of Matic.
Want the hats
I
still.
wish I would have fucking swapped
And
it.
so I was like, all right, I'm
I
gonna place a big
got fucking
order.
shit tons of
It's been
ADA.
like 8 weeks. I was like, perfect.
I wish I would have got rid of that fucking shit when it was at 40 cents, more than I did. I've been trying to get out of it. Like,
I don't think Ada did that bad even, dude. Matic fucking.
well,
shit.
you can't hurt ADA more than it's already fucking blood. I feel like I don't know.
Charge it. Take it back. Make it back in the back end.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about it. Thank you guys for watching, for listening. We'll see you next week. Love you, Bert.
Love you too, Tom.
Bert, Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt.
I don't know, man. Like, I've been watching these charts and I haven't even realized that. That's just insane to me.
And you also said you can't do TA because you don't have your charts.
Yeah, I'm just reading RSI.
Yeah, so like, I'm listening to you. You don't have your charts. You're only looking at RSI.
This is insane how bad all
This episode of Two Bears is brought to you by Satva, the only online luxury mattress company that provides
ETH's only down like
delivery,
15%.
setup, and mattress removal. Go to satva.com/YMH. You get $100 off any purchase of $500 or more.
I don't know. I wouldn't do it here.
Start the show.
I would definitely do it. Especially if we lose support here, you definitely want to do it.
We're all on G-Trade.
You're gonna let that thing. I mean, like.
With every trade today. What are you talking about?
Because I need it to be tweeted the right way.
Why are you coming at me in the past like 20 minutes?
Nope. Delete tweet. Okay, it's not coming up that way either. I don't know why. Let's see. Let's try it this way. Image. Let's see.
I don't know. All I know is I'm giving people advice.
Hey, Justin Bieber just.
We're not having your point now. You don't know. So maybe no before going advice.
Awesome tweet shared. Let's just see. If
I'm just saying, like, I'm telling people not to buy until 618 or all-time low on the big caps and probably below yearly lows on all the other ones.
First of all,
that's what I think is going to happen.
No, that's deleted too. Delete tweet.
That's my bet.
Delete tweet.
That's what the bet.
Well, I'm gonna keep scalping so I can buy some fucking milk.
What's happening?
I'm having so much fun. I've got a tweet I'm posting.
Like, you need to get your charts back so you can get your act back
where you
in order.
can see the dick.
Bro, when we dump, which we're gonna dump,
Happy April Fools, Okay.
I'm not at the point where I would say, oh, we're definitely gonna dump, but I'm pretty fucking close.
Twitter?
Yeah,
We're
pull up
really
Twitter.
fucking
This
close
is
to
the
getting
tweet I'm sending out today for April Fools. Okay.
And I don't need any oscillators to say that. It looks so
Just so
fucking
it's
bad,
clear,
dude. Like, we can't
from the
lose this
moment
level.
I got here,
We can't close a 4-hour
and
below
being
this.
like, I just gotta get ready to post it.
We can't do it.
Ready to post it. Hold on a second. Delete tweet.
no.
Delete tweet.
It doesn't
Hold
make
on.
no
I'm
sense.
really excited about this tweet right now.
Okay. I thought I'd share some. Are you on Twitter?
Okay. Yes.
Can you see it?
House knows exactly what I'm talking about.
For the billboards we put up for my special.
I don't know, man. You weren't saying this yesterday. What's changed between yesterday and today?
You like it?
Yeah.
It's so great. It's so great. I spent all night working on it.
Yeah. So did you just sit on your couch like that?
I just sat on my
I'm sure we're gonna get a bounce here, but I don't know if it's gonna mean anything.
Now we're going.
I wonder how.
Do you have a two-tone cock?
No. Yeah. I think
No,
I do.
like it looks like.
Make up your mind,
I
son.
have a big. That's my. That's.
Well, I mean, we're
on
at
my
support.
dick
Obviously,
is
we're
from
gonna
my.
bounce.
But that looks really light.
I mean, not obviously.
Yeah,
it's
it
more
was. I
likely
lit
we're
the
gonna
room.
bounce, but like,
So
No, but like, why are there so many different shades?
it's been stretched out a little bit.
I don't know.
Have you ever had an STD?
any of it's gonna matter. We might just stay in this descending triangle.
Where'd you get it?
Dumb.
The
end of this descending triangle
yeah, it was a fucking
is
worst.
on May 14th.
No, I won't say that about her. You know what's so funny?
So if we don't dump in 3 days,
I
then
have
we'll
such a. I won't say that about her. I'll just say it was odd that she got it from one dude. Dude, it was the
realistically, I would
thing
say
I've ever had to deal with in my entire life.
if we don't,
Because I'd only had sex with 2 people, 2 women at that point, 2 women, and.
I want to make that real clear.
by like May,
I'd only had sex with 2 women, and so
maybe we can go up.
22.
Well, I mean,
It was
like, yeah,
when I
every
got back
day.
from Russia.
I wanted to stay
And
long.
so
that's
this
what
was
I
your
would
girlfriend when you had gone to Russia?
I would just be
We're
like
talking about
small,
Arabs
long,
when we
every
met.
day. At the spot right here, 26.7, and that way, like, today.
Sorry. Anyway,
maybe start tomorrow.
I had it backwards. I almost sprayed myself.
And if it holds that day, then good. You're on the risk of a little bit. You know, each day it gets bigger and bigger, and it's less likely to dump.
For us?
For me.
Wait, here?
Well, I'm getting it today.
When?
Later today.
I want
How
to
did
just
you
be
get
like,
it? This
a
is
big
white
wall.
privilege.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think you have COVID?
No, but it's going to tell me if I have the antibodies, meaning have I had it? Because there's people who are asymptomatic, you know?
So wait, how did you get that?
I just called a doctor.
Like a doctor, Dr. Drew?
No, but a different doctor.
Really? Mm-hmm. How much did it cost?
It wasn't that much.
How do I get one?
Give me $6,000.
Wait, is Push getting it tested? Obviously, you're not gonna just go, I'm cool, good luck, you're in the you're in the outdoor house.
Yeah. I'm gonna you want one?
Yeah.
Or I'll get you one.
Fuck yeah, I want one.
But I think for your house it's more on brand if only you get tested.
I think so too. You know what Leanne said today? She said I said something. She goes, I had a nightmare I got COVID last night. And I went, for real? And she goes, yeah, like I was terrified. You had to take care of the girls. And I went, hold on. I go, if you got COVID, I would have to take care of the girls? She goes, yeah, for 2 weeks you'd have to do Isla's schoolwork. You'd have to help Georgia with her schoolwork. Like, you'd have to clean the house, feed the dogs. And I was like, all of a sudden, I got real panicked. And I was like, please let me get COVID first. Please let me get COVID first. I could not do what she does.
Do you think she sometimes sits quietly alone and is like, I'm a martyr,
Oh, yeah, not even quietly. Yesterday it was out loud. It was, dude, did you see Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell? They were like, they did Katie Couric's show, and they're like, how you guys getting along? And they're like, not good at all.
No, I didn't see that.
They're like, we're fighting like cats and dogs. We're at each other's throats. And then Zach just got up and left.
No.
Yeah, Zach was the funniest one because I think Christina was going to be like, at first, like.
Who's Christina?
Christina Bell.
Kirsten Bell.
Okay. Kirsten was going to be like, yo, I'm like.
Is it Kirsten or Kristen?
Kristen Bell was like, I'm cool.
And who's Zach?
Wait, what story are you telling?
You said Zach got up and left.
Zach.
No, not Zach. Dax. Okay.
Dax got up and left and was like, we're fighting like cats and dogs, and got up and like, you could tell there was a little alpha dog shit going on where he made a loud noise and you could see her be like, it's not funny. They're like, how long have you been fighting? He's like, I've been doing about 8 minutes ago.
Wow.
That was the first time, I will say, because they are a Hollywood couple. I've been wanting to say this. You and Christina should try to do Hollywood real down to earth couple, because that's like they're like the down to earth couple. You know what? Hey guys, no more rent for our
our tenants. I saw that.
It was really fucking cool though.
It's very cool. Then you're like, Jesus, they own residential buildings.
Marty is like, holy shit.
Yeah.
How much money does she make?
Well, don't forget, actually, his podcast is like one of the biggest in the world.
He's got a podcast?
Dax Shepard?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Really?
Yes.
What's it called?
Armchair Expert, I think is what it's called, right? It's enormous.
By the way, that was acting. I know that he's got a podcast.
Okay.
Finally just wanted to test out my acting.
Your acting was great.
Is it celebrity podcast or I've never listened to it, but I know that it's a big podcast.
It's really big. I don't know. I haven't heard it either, but I know that it's really, really big.
Is it celebrity podcast where he speaks celebrity talk and talks like a therapist and all the shit he's learned through his growth as a celebrity, or is it fucking real?
I bet it's
I
the
don't know.
Like
latter.
Bitcoin could go down to $200, we'd still be fine above support on this like weekly chart.
You meant the former, not the latter.
I
Like,
don't know what I said.
They could just be clearing out all these other wicks.
Like, do you think? Here's my question: do you ever think at the end he tells his editors like, "Hey, edit out that drinking and driving shit"? I'm cool. I hope it's like I'm a little bit of a podcast snob.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing it. I've been in podcasting since it started. So like I get a little rubbed the wrong way when I see like a TV pitch as a podcast, and then you see like the network suits put their thumbprint all over it.
Well, everybody was doing the backlash, at least in our world, like comedians, when Conan got a podcast, and then he got all the press. People were like, because he was on the cover of something like
top 10 podcasts,
or like revolutionary podcast. Everybody was like, "What are you talking about?" And everyone loves Conan. They were. Just
I love
like,
Conan too. I love Conan, and I bet his podcast is fantastic. He's an amazing interviewer. But there's something that rubs me wrong when I see celebrities get into podcasting and not really give a fuck about it. Just know that they're. I'm not saying that Zach's doing this at all, but I'm saying like that when they go, I just need a mortgage.
Who's Zach?
Fucking Dax.
Okay.
Fucking Dax. I'm sorry, Dax.
Right, so
I actually like Dax a lot. I fucking was a huge fan of his on Punk'd when Punk'd was out.
Yeah.
Loved him in Punk'd. And then all this other shit. I think he's awesome. Chips, fucking great. I'm trying to stretch for the shit I've seen him in. I'm trying to think of.
He's in Idiocracy.
He's awesome in Idiocracy.
I like Money.
Yeah, he's great in Idiocracy.
He is.
He's great, man. He's awesome, and I love him and Christina. Now I'm doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Him and Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
I think, but you guys should dethrone them.
How should we do it? Should we just go to their house?
No. Just you guys need to reach out to people and be like, Tom has a hilarious way of waking up his children.
I have a feeling we're gonna hit them today. I think it's over.
Christina shares. That's your wife. Christina shares hilarious video of kids serenading daddy when he got home from work.
That's right. I remember now. I just had a flashback to when he got her a sloth, right?
By the way, that was a great fucking video. That was a great fucking video. That was a legit fucking awesome. Like I didn't know who she was. I knew who she was, but like I didn't know she's as talented as she is. Like celebrity gets so fucking broad stroke that you start to dislike people as celebrities and forget they're so talented.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I think it's like what Johnny Depp did right was like, I get it. I'm an actor and I like that, but you shouldn't worship me. I'm just a fucking.
Did he do that?
Dude, he wouldn't do press for his shows, and he'd go on and be notoriously difficult. And I think this is back when we wanted our celebrities to be like soft shoeing it on David Letterman. And now I think it's flipped where it's like every celebrity, I would say there's a majority of celebrities aren't even that talented, you know?
Yeah.
And then you see someone like Kristen Bell, who is, I'm talking, tits talented. She is so fucking talented.
What, do you watch her stuff or something?
She's in every fucking Frozen. She's in Frozen. She's the
voice of Frozen?
She's the one who sings. She sings in Frozen.
Really?
Dude, she is amazingly talented. True? Yeah, dude, pull up Kristen Bell's fucking. By the way, the Kristen Bell is fucking legit. Look at that, dude, legit. Can you imagine if that's your fucking mom and your mom's singing the Frozen theme song? Scroll down, let's see your IMDb. Kristen Bell's the fucking tits in Hollywood. She is one of the most talented people in our fucking city.
So I know that she's what was that show that she just like the show that
the Great Place.
The Good Place.
Great Place.
The Good Place.
Good Place. She was in Veronica Mars. Go to just the pictures, and Dom, we can't read that. Go to just the known for, and let's see the pictures. Yeah. She was in Sarah. She was in.
Bird prefers pictures.
She was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. She was awesome in that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Dude, Kristen Bell's legit fucking talented.
Yeah, I agree.
Legit. She needs a fucking podcast.
Now scroll down.
Central Park TV, The Good Place.
Good Place.
Let's get off her fucking TV work.
Jesus Christ, let's see some real fucking shit. She was in Teen Titans Go, the movie. Family Guy, dude. The Disaster Artist. What is that one?
That's the one that what's his name? Who made that girl blow him?
Buffalo 66.
No, the other.
Harvey Weinstein.
No, the good-looking guy. What's his name? James Franco. Remember he held that girl's head down? Not in the movie, in real life. Yeah.
I can't be a part of slandering James Franco. He goes to my spin class.
I'm not slandering him.
You fucking.
That girl, an actress accused him of like.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Look it up. Pull it up.
Everyone's done that once though, right? Just grab a little ponytail and be like, and I'm in control.
I think
2 women say, 5 women, but it just keeps increasing. I saw James Franco. In my spin class.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't put this out there. If I can put it out there now that the spin class is closed.
Yeah.
I was going into the bathroom and there was a naked dude showering, and the curtain was kind of open.
You could even say there was just a dude showering.
He was naked.
Okay.
He was naked.
Okay.
I guess I could say he was a dude showering.
Yeah.
Dude showering, and I saw him kind of, and I thought, that's James Franco. I didn't even see his face. I just saw his back and the side of his cheek, and his beard was so recognizable. I thought, that's James Franco. I thought that to myself. I thought, and I was like, what are the odds James Franco's showering at my spin class? I go out, I put my shoes on, and fucking James Franco walks out. And dude, I am a huge James Franco fan. I think he's fucking awesome. When he played James Dean in that fucking movie,
yeah,
dude, come on.
I think we should add to Burtis Interruptus the drinking game. I am a huge fucking fan. Because you're never a casual fan.
I've never just kind of been like, Kristen Bell's the fucking, she is Hollywood's gem. Without Kristen Bell, Hollywood would not. I don't know how every role doesn't go to her first. James Franco is the best actor of our generation.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's great. Who's the girl whose head he held down?
What? By the way, James Franco's never gonna like us now.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm not saying he did it. I want to be clear. I'm saying that a well-known actress.
Are you talking about blowjob, hand on the back of her head type stuff?
Well, that's what I thought would be interesting to pull up right now.
If you're in a car, where are your hands supposed to go? You can't put them in the steering wheel.
Right.
Like like parked.
Right.
You're not you're
supposed to go.
Put them up like this.
Like this, right? This is on the steering wheel. This is on her head.
Yeah.
Is that what it?
Yeah. Like if you're driving, you put your hand on the back of her head. That's where it naturally lands.
Yeah.
On the back of the head or on the base of her neck, and you grab it like this. Wait, who? That's a joke, everybody. Forced Roadhead. Go to Forced Roadhead.
That's what he searched.
Oh.
That is not how to find the result. Go to his Wikipedia.
First off,
have you ever looked anything up before?
Nadav. You're the reason people hate Israelis. Man, people really hate Israelis too.
They do?
Oh, Jewish people hate Israelis.
Oh, I see what you mean. American.
Yeah. Well, and I think everywhere else in the entire fucking universe also. I mean, Palestinians aren't huge fans.
No, I got it.
You're still getting...
Ali Sheedy, that's what I'm talking about. Ali Sheedy. See?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, she's the one who said...
Wait, how old was James Franco? 15?
And a former girl, they forced him oral sex while they were dating. But I thought Ali Sheedy was the one who said that it was dry. I don't know. I'm reading the fucking article, man.
Ali Sheedy's like fucking 56. Saying it's an odd choice for James Franco to go, you know what? I'm gonna go vintage this week.
I mean, maybe.
I'm gonna go antiquing.
I think it was probably. I think it's a.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did I just come up with a new phrase of fucking old chicks? Antiquing?
I think you may have.
I'm gonna go.
Now type in James Franco, Ali Sheedy, and you get the bigger story.
God,
he's like fucking fully TikTok.
Fully TikTok. Why Ali Sheedy calls out Golden Globe winner James Franco on Twitter. She called him out on Twitter.
Okay. What did she say?
Man, back in the day, Ali Sheedy could get it.
You can get it now.
Yeah?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna...
Yeah? Maybe if you're at a...
Maybe. Okay, hold on. Set the scene. Set the scene and see if Ali Sheedy gets it.
Okay, you're in an antique store.
Ooh, okay. I said, by the way, I had a fantasy this morning looking at Leanne drinking coffee out of her cup, and I went, I feel like I'm about to fuck a divorcee who lives in Sedona. Like the way her coffee mug was like old and big, and she had like a sweater on.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she's getting.
You haven't been with a man for a while.
Yeah. You have a bathtub that has a skylight. You look at the stars at night and think about the painting you'll make the next day.
And you're really trying to get good with you right now. Yeah. You're just trying to be like, who am I? I'm reading a lot. I'm meditating. What you need.
What if Ali Sheedy's down? What if Ali Sheedy's a big fan of our podcast and we didn't know that? What if Kristen Bell, Dax Shepard, and Ali Sheedy are all on a road trip right now? And they're like, this fucking podcast sucks. James Franco's on a motorcycle. Yeah, I'll hold her head down. Fuck her.
I think you definitely lost Franco right there.
Franco's my guy. I'm a big Franco fan.
I remember when I saw him showering and I was like, that looks like him.
By the way, Nadav looks like Seth Rogen after the quarantine.
Oh, that's good.
Are you afraid you got the COVID?
No, here's the thing. I cannot be convinced that I haven't had it.
I think
because I get everything. I get sick 10 times a year.
Yeah.
I'm always getting sick, and I think it's whatever. I've tested had my immune system. It's not that. I just feel like as travelers and as just a regular piece of shit, I always get sick.
I feel like I got it.
And knowing that so many people are asymptomatic, I'm like, I just gotta find out.
How many people are asymptomatic?
Tons.
Really?
Yeah. And then other people have had it and had mild reactions to it. You know what I mean? Like a cough, and then they recover it. So it affects people differently. That's what makes me so curious.
I'm shocked. What spooked Rogan was that Michael Yo got it.
Yeah,
because
me too.
He's in great shape.
Michael Yo's in great shape. Really healthy guy, takes care of himself, and he ended up with pneumonia.
I traumatized my children watching his fucking. Where he's like, you die alone. And George is like, maybe we shouldn't be watching.
And they tell you, and I've seen other stories in the news about like one lady, a nurse helped her FaceTime her mother so that she could say bye because she died. You know.
I liked when we were doing sexual assault stories. It was more fun. Jesus Christ!
Did you tell your kids that?
I told my kids. I said Georgia wanted to go over to a friend's house. I said no. I'm letting her go on bike rides with her friends. Like they can ride bikes and that's fine, but not like can't hang out, can't do anything. Because you can't just keep them in their fucking house. They'll lose their goddamn mind. Isla hasn't done anything. Isla hasn't changed out of the same pajamas in like a week. And she just is cool with it. Like, she doesn't give a fuck.
She likes it.
She sleeps till 2.
Till 2?
Oh, that kid sleeps.
What time does she go to bed?
Like 2 in the morning. She's up all fucking night. She doesn't wait. I mean,
what grade is she in?
I don't know. Fucking, who knows?
How old?
Isla just is on her own. You know, she got, like, I was telling this someone the other day. She wants to, we sat down to watch a movie last night. She goes, pull up Blackwater. I go, what? She goes, Blackwater. It looks great, Dad. Type in Blackwater. This is what she wanted to watch with me last night. It's a movie with not the one with Jean-Claude Van Damme. There's a lot of Blackwaters. James, it's with Blackwater with Mark Ruffalo. It's a movie about DuPont flooding the waters with.
I saw the trailer. It looks terrible.
I go, why would you want to watch that?
So depressing.
Goes, me and you get into a thriller tonight. And I was like, why don't we look for something else? And she goes, all right, pull up 1917. I go, wait, who have you been hanging out with?
A World War I movie.
Yeah, and then she was like, fine, Onward. And that's the one where the dude loses half his body.
Ugh.
No, I pitched it wrong. It's good. It's like I think like Spider-Man's in it. It's a long. I'm really pitching it horribly.
These corporate corruption ones are. I always get bummed out by them.
I never.
They're like, oh, and then they're dumping their toxic shit. Everybody got AIDS in this town, and like.
I always sit there on the other side of it and go, don't snitch, man. Just keep your job. Stay happy.
Yeah.
Like, I never side on the right side of those. Like, in all of them. I'm always like, why are you fucking snitching?
Yeah.
Like, shut your fucking mouth, get your paycheck, and hang out with your family, man. Go to the country club. They love you. Why are you fucking... He was good to you. He gave you a fucking job.
Exactly. If somebody gives you a job, you shut the fuck up.
The firm.
Yeah.
When Tom Cruise decides to take him down, I'm like, what are you doing, man? They're sending you to the fucking Cayman Islands once every quarter to go scuba diving. Fucking relax, man.
Yeah, take it easy. Let people steal.
I would be horrible.
When your attorney presents you with either or. That's how it happens. Everybody goes like, I won't snitch, I won't snitch, I won't snitch. And then there's a time when your attorney sits across from you and goes, here's the deal. They're making you an offer. You can either talk and do 16 months at a fucking country club jail where you can play racquetball during the day, or you're gonna do 35 years at a supermax.
I couldn't do 35 years at a supermax.
All right.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, Bert did it.
I would snitch so quick in that. I would never be the guy. I'd never be a whistleblower. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would never be a whistleblower. At all. I just would. I would want to keep it the way.
Do you think Zach would?
Who?
Zach.
You mean Dax?
Oh, sorry.
Dax is a whistleblower.
You think so?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Why?
Because he's married to Kristen Bell.
What does that have to do with it?
Like, they're fucking good.
Oh.
Like, he's a good guy. He'd definitely be a whistleblower. Like, he's not a company man. You know?
Yeah.
Like, he seems like a guy who does his own thing. He used to party, man.
How do you know that?
I saw an interview with him where he talked about his sobriety and how much
He's sober now?
Yeah, and Kristen Bell smokes weed. Like, legit vape pen.
You've been doing that sound a lot.
I know. I don't know why.
Where did that come from?
I have no idea. I started doing it.
Did you get a horse recently? You're always doing that now.
I'm doing it a lot.
Yeah.
Hey.
You do your hand thing? Yeah.
No, he one time he was drunk and his motorcycle fell on his leg. So wait, like,
how do you know all these things about him?
I know weird facts about Dax that just because I was a fan of his. I was like a legit, like, I liked him, and so like an article would come up, and like I like that whole age of those dudes, like the Ashton Kutcher, Dax, that whole generation was when I thought I should have been famous. Like I was like, I should be getting a job, or I should be working or booking something
with these guys, basically.
I thought me and Ashton would be such close friends.
Well, it
we
seems
hung
like
out one time. Yeah,
Where?
one time at the at a radio my talk show. I had a talk show on FX called The X Show, and
that's right.
I interviewed him, and he came in, and he was like, hey, you got like a beer or something? And I was like, yeah. And I was doing the interview, so I went in and grabbed a couple Heinekens, and I sat with him, and we talked, and he was the coolest fucking guy. He was like, yeah, I just built a deck. Like, and I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And he was very down to earth. He was pitching himself a little too down to earth. Like, you could tell it was a little branding. Like, he was slamming valets. Like, I don't let valets. No one fucking gets in my car and drives my car. What the fuck? That's an LA thing. I'm old school. I find a parking spot. And I was like, let it go. Like, I remember being like, I love valets. Like, get with the times, Captain. But we had a couple Heinekens and talked about this deck he built at his house. He told me where he lived and was like, he used to live right off Franklin, I think, is where he said. And he was like, yeah, man, you should come over. And I was like, 100%. I was thinking, this is when I was single too. I was like, can you imagine the pussy that gets kicked out of there at 2 a.m.? Like, that's fucking top shelf for me. But yeah, and so like Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
Sean William Scott, Ashton Kutcher.
I haven't seen that guy in a while.
I think he has legit. There's a huge deep dive you can do on that guy.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like There was, and this is getting into slander territory.
Yeah.
But I think he's had. I don't think this is hand slander, but I think he had problems with drugs and alcohol pretty aggressively, like more than the average dude. I think, like 100%. Like, and I say I'm the average dude. Wait, what? Or am I getting into slander territory?
No, it's a fun verbal ride you just went on.
But I got into a deep dive on that guy because I said, what happened to Sean William Scott? And then I got into this huge fucking rabbit hole where I had to like text Jason Biggs and be like, I thought I'd be friends with Jason Biggs. Like all those guys were like famous.
You texted him about Sean?
Oh yeah.
To say like what happened? And
I think. And so.
Woo! So you have wait. Did you get an answer?
No, not really. But I think Hollywood was rough on this guy, Jason William Scott. John. This guy, William Scott. This fucking Scott guy. The fucking Scott guy. You know the one I'm talking about. I'm bad with fucking names.
All right.
I haven't drank in like almost 19 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Oh well, I drank weed and smoked weed with Rogan, and I don't count Xanax, but yeah. No, I'll tell you. You want to know how many days I haven't drank? I've got a timer on my phone.
Okay.
Sean William Scott is. I thought like myself, him, Ashton Kutcher, Dax Shepard. We'd all be boys. We'd hang out. We'd make fun of the kid from. Who's the guy? We make fun of like what's the guy from the fucking thing? Never mind. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know where any of that was going.
Fashion model. Wait, what does it say he's doing now?
He's a private guy.
He's got hand tattoos.
He's got hand tattoos. He married somebody last year. He has a dog named Dude.
He seems like he's doing well, based off of his Wikipedia. You ready?
Okay.
16 days, 23 hours, 21 minutes, and 7 seconds.
Since you had a drink? Any drink?
Technically.
Wait, what's technically?
Well, like, I drank with Rogan, but I don't count it.
Why do you not count that?
Because it was with Rogan.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does. It's work. Like,
no, you got to reset that so it's accurate.
We're not resetting it. We got 16 days.
Well, how many days do you really have?
16.
No. When did you drink with Rogan?
Last Tuesday. Right?
Yeah. No, I was
there
Tuesday.
Last Monday.
So it's not 16 days.
It's whatever. It's 16-ish days.
It's 8, 9, 10. It's 10 days.
It's 10 days, but it's 16 total.
Man.
That's why I'm not an alcoholic, because I can, like, an alcoholic.
I wonder. Okay, you should never negotiate for yourself. Ever. On anything.
Okay.
I mean, I'm taking it that Leanne speaks up, right? When okay, buying a house or a car or something. I bet you're like, whatever.
I folded so quick. Remember we were talking about we wanted to redo this house?
Yeah.
Wanted, like, all the things we wanted to do are kind of like shifting based on the economy. And like things where I was like, fuck it, I don't care, are now shifting back to like, oh, okay, leave it the way it is. Yeah. And dude, I folded so quick on that pool. Do you remember I was talking to you about the pool? I folded so quick on that fucking pool.
I actually thought, and it's not crazy if you know Bert. He's like, I think I want to move my pool. And I thought he meant that he was going to take the pool at his current house and have it like excavated and moved. And I was like, this is the dumbest fucking thing you have ever said. But you meant
I wanted the current pool at the house.
The new house,
which I don't know if we'll ever live in, is in a really bad spot. It just is not my favorite spot to put a pool. It's just stupid. It's like someone put a pool in 1972, and it looks like it's from 19. It's by the way, it's like fucking 15.
Can I ask you this about a pool like that? When you go, I want a pool in a different spot. Does that mean, do they fill it in and just go like that becomes?
First off,
yeah, because you don't actually move, right?
No. Yeah, they tear the pool out, they rip it out.
They okay.
Rip out the rebar.
So it's basically fill that with dirt where it was.
No. This is why. So initially I was like, move the pool, and they're like, it's gonna
cost a lot of money. I said, I don't care. I'm not going to live in the house I'm going to live in for the rest of my life with the pool where it is. I don't like it there. I want it to be where I want it to be. Like I want it. It's like if the house is here, the pool's here up against the fence. Yeah. And you're like, why wouldn't it be in the middle of the yard where you walk out into the backyard, you see this beautiful pool?
Yeah.
And so they're like, it's going to cost a lot. I was like, I don't care. I just whatever it costs, just do it. Don't tell me what it costs, because if you tell me what it costs, I won't want to do it. And I'll tell you why, because whatever we spent on this pool right now is someone's made fun of me because it's not the biggest pool. It's not. It's like, but I'm in it every fucking day.
You love your pool.
I love it. I love it more than anything. And I said to Leanne, it doesn't matter when you're going to use something every single day. Cost doesn't matter. It's a part of your lifestyle. It makes you happy.
Right.
I get in the pool every fucking night, every morning, every night, and I get in it and I look up at the King Palm and I sit back and I feel like I'm taking a vacation. I don't think about anything. I love it. So I said to Leanne, I don't care what the price is. Let's move the fucking pool. I want to be in it every single day. And then they told me the price and I was like, all right, I can live with the pool where it is. I mean, you gotta tear out that pool, then not just fill it in with dirt. You've got to regrade you got to take all the dirt out everywhere, right? In the whole backyard, you got to remove all the dirt and then replace it, because if you just dig out and try to pack this dirt isn't stable anymore.
Don't you wish you were one of the those types, like the guy, like those shows where they go, we're gonna redo this house, and you knew how to do all those things? What's the one where it's the couple? You know what I mean? Where she's like
Chip and Joanna.
Yes, and she's always like, "You're a fucking idiot." He's like, "I love you."
Well, I'm just a good old boy having a good old time with a brick. Hey,
Yeah.
Johnny Joe, catch this.
Their whole vibe is he's like, "I can't believe she lets me fuck her,"
Yeah.
and then she's just like, "I can't believe I fucked this guy." That's how they come across on every episode.
Yeah.
But don't you admire that he's like, "Yeah, I'll just fucking build a whole new wing onto this thing," and then he just does it. And like,
but that's the whole mantra of the show. Is they doubled down on Waco. They're redoing houses in Waco, Texas. There's so many articles about.
She's so dismissive of him.
I think she's sexy as fuck.
No, she is, but I'm saying she's always just like her vibe is like, I'm stuck.
Yeah. I think that's, you know what, I really think they got into television at the time where scripts told them who they were, I think. It said like
dictated the dynamic.
Like, you know what works for us a little bit? Like in the
she hates your guts. You can't believe
you can't believe you're lucky enough to be married to her.
Yeah.
And then you need to be a little more, and I think they just leaned into it. I think they would argue with that. They go, this is our relationship. But I guarantee you.
I wish
I can't watch your show, and I'm not a big fan of the show. To be dead honest with you, I am more attached to. I'm not an HGTV guy. I'm a DIY guy. Like DIY is a lot of the real people doing it themselves, so I can connect with that.
I can't do any of those things.
Oh,
anything. I'm such a fucking incompetent shit when it comes from anything handy. I mean, I've called people to come to the house, and then they've been like, just push that, and I'm like, oh, sorry. And they're like, it's okay.
Do you fantasize when you see like building off the grid or main cabin builders?
Oh yeah, all that shit, man.
I look at that and go. Last night I watched building off the grid out of South Carolina with this guy who was in love with collared shirts apparently.
Yeah.
That's all he fucking wore was collared shirts to do all his work in. And I fantasized about like, I would love to, I said to Leanne, why the fuck are we here? Let's go to the fucking, let's build a yurt. I've seen so many yurts been built.
A what?
A yurt.
What's that?
It's like pull up a yurt. It's easier to show you than explain to you. But it's basically a pop-up tent that they come like pre-assembled. They come where all you got to do is assemble them. You've got to build the foundation, but then you just kind of like
put like that in your yard.
No, I want to put it in the mountains and then live in a yurt. I went up and stayed at a yurt at like 8,000 feet, 7,000 feet in Idaho. I think it was in Idaho.
I hope that my kids don't like camping.
That don't like camping?
Yeah.
Why? You don't like camping?
I hate camping.
I love the first night of camping. I hate the next morning when you're hungover and you're like, wow, I didn't sleep at all.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, my balls smell like fucking
I was scratching my ass the other day, like really scratching it, and then I was in bed. I got distracted, and I was like, "Oh, you know what they should do?" To Christina, and she goes, "What?" I go, "They should flatten your nose out. Like I would love for them." And I went like that, and I flattened her nose, and she was like, "What the fuck?" And I go, "What?" She goes, "Did you just scratch your ass?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, a while ago." She was like, "Could you not rub it all over my face?" And I go, I didn't rub it on her. She goes, "You just pushed my face."
Flatten your nose. I'm doing that to Leanne. I'm doing it to Leanne, and I'm putting it on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be great if they flattened your nose out, like it was flat.
Yeah, and just like have a real. You gotta get like a good scratch.
Oh, I showered for the first time in a week today. Yeah. I
mean, are we using your same alcohol counter? Is it actually?
It might be 2 weeks. I haven't been showering a lot because I've been getting in the pool and I count those as showers. So I'm like,
that is one of, that is viewed as one of your gnarliest traits, right?
Is not showering.
People have decided that the brand is really gross. When they go pool showers,
I have pool showered my whole life.
Is it a saltwater pool?
Chlorine, and then I rinse off in the hose.
And that's a shower.
Legit
So
shower.
no soap in any part of it.
Just wash off the bad sticky parts.
But how do you wash it?
Just with hose. You hose it out.
But that's not washing. Right?
Yeah, but I'm not using soap. But what is soap technically?
What?
I mean, like, is there any scientific facts on like soap is better for you than just rinsing?
I think we know that soap is antibacterial.
Not all of it. Like, not like I'm rubbing fats and oils on my body, and that's better for me than the soap you use in the shower is not antibacterial.
No?
It's just fats and oils. So I think you get just as good a shower with a hose.
I don't. Look, you always have real strong arguments, but I don't know if this.
How is soap? What's the base made up of soap? Look, fats and oils, milk, fats, oils, glycerins, and natural ingredients. Yeah. Samponification is lye. It's alkaline.
But is soap just inherently antibacterial?
No. There's antibacterial soap, and then there's soap. Like the soap you dial isn't antibacterial. Type in is dial antibacterial. Dial was made antibacterial, but not anymore.
What does it say? Not anymore.
It says now it's ingredients of benzochloriadamine and benzoylethoxamine. Antimicrobial. It's antimicrobial. Very different. Healthier skin, healthier for you. They basically want you to rub shit into your skin so that you feel cleaner. But
now I know there's a lot of gross pigs out there who like they live like an anti-soap lifestyle, you know? Like
I don't live anti-soap, anti-deodorant, but I just go.
You anti-deodorant?
No, I'm pro-deodorant. I'm pro-deodorant, not anti-perspirant.
You know what I'm really liking right now?
What?
Dry spray deodorant.
Oh.
I only got into it like a couple months ago.
Have you ever used dry shampoo?
No.
That's fucking awesome.
Well, look at this head. Do you think I really?
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah. Are you done? Are you not going to get hair transplants?
Nah. I thought about because I'm a comedian. I don't feel like it fucking.
Does it depress you to get older?
No.
I get depressed getting older.
No, I've always felt like I was old. So.
Really?
Yeah. I just feel like it. I actually feel like I'm coming more into my